and the stats will probably tell you that most goals are scored from corners off first contact, between the sticks, header or a first contact. We found it very, very difficult to make first contact from corners because of our lack of physicality. But I'm sure that'll be another area of our team that improves as the season goes along, and when the players who have got physicality come back into the team, we will be quite a threat, I would imagine, if you're playing, Ballard and Adji, Ross Stewart and Ellis Sims, and Danny Bath. There's 5 6'3" footballers in the box, and I think you'll see the goals for going up, I think, on set plays when we bring a bit more physicality into the team.
Central midfield as well, the holding midfielders. Dan Neil, you gave him a rest on Wednesday. Barr comes in, looks very, very strong. What's your thinking about that sort of trio, Barr, Neil, Evans, going forwards?
What's my thinking? I think as I've been talking long and hard there about, and Ellis Sims, whoever's fit, however we feel having watched the opposition, we have to play. We have to get a combination. We have to get a balance. You should really throw Embleton in there. You should really throw Pritchard in there, because they are like midfield players, attacking midfield players. So you either play. I don't want to get into too much football parling with you, but if you play 1 6 and 2 8s, so 1 sitter at the base and 2 midfield players who are playing in advance who can break lines of their back line. You have to say Pritchard and Embleton fall into that category of trying to be 8s, and then you bring a 10 into it as well. Are we counting the 10 as a midfield player? Because again, Pritchard can play there, Embleton can play there, lots of players can play in 10. So we seem to have an overload of them, but we seem to have a slight discrepancy probably in Corey Evans' type of footballer. I think Barr has got the potential to do it. I just need to give him a kick up the backside before the game to tell him he's allowed to tackle as well as you have to say Pritchard and Embleton fall into that ball category. So, and I think he's coming on board with that. I think if he brings the aggression to his game, I think we've got a really, really talented footballer there. And it's the same with Dan. Dan Neil, what a talent. As manager of Blackburn, I was looking at League One and thinking maybe the best player in League One is Dan Neil at Sunderland. Maybe. That's, as I was watching the games and yet now working with him, I feel he needs help in certain areas. He needs to be more, because of his talent, he has to be more personality. Give it to me, stick it forward, wrap it forward. Every time you get the ball off, give the ball, give it forward. I'd like him to bring his personality and show everybody what a talent he is. I was looking at League One and thinking, because he's undoubtedly got all the attributes. He's got a physical element to his game. He can, as I was watching the games, he can hit long passes. And yet now working with him, I feel he has to just bring personality. I played right at the end of my career. I played with Jim McGill. I thought Jim McGill was Maradona. Everybody had to give Jim McGill the ball. It was like, but his personality dominated the pitch basically. Because give it to me, and then he'd get angry and start snarling at you if you looked at him and passed it to somebody else. It was like your personality can dominate the game, and I'm not saying Dan's going to be that guy, but a bit more personality to get on the ball more, to influence the football match, to dominate the passing really, and dictate when to switch it, when to let it run across your body, when to play out the other side, when to play around the corner with the outside of your foot after the strikers.
Well, we're back. That's modern
rather
technology
than just waiting for the ball to come and then seeing what he's going to do. I'd like him to bring more character to his game, but an undoubted talent. So I don't sit here and think, there's my utopia of my midfield, this is what we're going to do. I don't think so. They're all competing to play really, and some days we play 2 8s and some days we play 2 6s, and let's wait and see.
Where does Leon Diaku stand? Does he leave you banging your head against the wall at times?
So he's a lad who I think again he's got some good attributes, and he needs to get his confidence levels up. He needs to believe in himself. He's got a rocket in his right foot, which he doesn't show anybody enough.
So
I watch him in training. He can take the net off the goals, really, with the power in his right foot. And yet, have you ever seen it? It's, I keep saying, when you get on your right foot, shoot, son, shoot. Everybody, I see it in training. It's amazing. But yeah, I think if anything, he tries a little bit too hard. He should. And is he a central striker? Does he want to play wide? He's got some competition if he wants to play wide in this team. The opportunity was there to play him centre forward, yet I'm not sure he's comfortable with his back to goal. He still needs the ball in front of him, chasing onto it. And so, as I was talking about earlier on, really, it's trying to see the players you've got and put them in the team and the way we're going to play. And I think he's just falling a little bit in between. He's not a back to goal centre forward who can hold people off and bring people in. And yet he probably hasn't got the blistering speed that you might need to really threaten the space behind them. And so, yeah, he's been around the squad and he's helped us and he's played in the team. And unfortunately, the other day, I brought him off at half time. I think worked hard enough, and yet a proper centre forward coming on, you could see made the difference.
Touchy subject, referees, but Alan Davis is your referee against Cardiff, and he's the only former footballer refereeing in the Football League. And we've talked about this in the past. Will it make a difference having a former player in control of a game, knowing what their mentality's like?
Yeah, I hope so. I think it's I think it's the way forward. Personally, I think I numerous occasions just shake my head and say to them, listen, you don't know what you're seeing. It's really, really frustrating. A footballer will know who's gone over too early or too easily. Sorry, who's wasting too much time. You know what a footballer's brain is. When you've been a footballer, you know what a footballer because you see it every day in training. We do little relay races day before a game, and every single one of them cheats. They all try and nick a yard. They don't go around the pole with the ball. They nick the ball inside and run round. They all cheat. It's just instinct to try and win and to come first and be the best. And the guy who smells it and sees it and knows what's damaging the game, I think that would help. But as I've always said, there's no questioning anybody's integrity. It's just knowing what you're seeing. And when you've been a footballer and you see them every day doing the little things they get away with, or you just laugh at him and get on, play on, and then he wouldn't do it next time, try and con you and cheat you. It's not nice to say, well, why are the footballers trying to con the referee? Well, it's just what they do because they want to win, and it's not they're not bad people. The referee, it's a really difficult scenario. You can see the conundrum. I can feel the conundrum. Why are you cheating? Why are you diving over? Was there enough to fall over for a penalty there? Not really. Well, let the ref make a decision. Is that what you want? It's just the game we're in now, and they're trying to give him help with VAR. But I just feel a footballer would know when a contact is enough to take somebody over, and a contact is not enough for you to fall over. Because I was you for 18 years, and I know that little tap on your ankle was not going to knock you over like you've just gone over in the box, so play on. Anyway, let's see.
You may get your first penalty tomorrow.
Well, let's see. Let's hope so.
Nick Barnes and Gary Bennett, MBE.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
So, referee Andy Davis, the former player, has led the players out onto the pitch. Sunderland in their red tracksuit tops. They'll be playing in red and white stripes, of course, and Cardiff all in blue. Now we're going to have the remembrance for all those lost in the wars ever since the First World War. The players lining up around the centre circle, the big poppy display in the Roker end, and Staff Sergeant Chris G will lead out. Also the representative for the Military Preparation College, Ethan, and the Veterans in Crisis, Jer, Sergeant Chris G of the 5th Regiment Royal Artillery, Yorkshire Gunners, and the artillery band marching behind the three representatives into the centre of the pitch.
Come on, lads.
A remarkable breakout into applause towards the end of those 2 minutes silence. The three representatives of the 5th Regiment Royal Artillery, veterans in crisis, and the Military Preparation College go and pick up the 3 wreaths laid in the centre circle. The last post from the 8th Rifles Regiment, and the flag display, the poppy in the Roker end away to our right, from the Spirit of 37. I also just want to mention, we mentioned this last weekend, the very sad news of the death of Paul Davison, big, massive Sunderland fan, many people know him. Just to let people know that Paul Davison's funeral will be on Friday, this coming Friday, at 2 o'clock at the Sunderland Crematorium, November the 11th.
Nice to see you back again.
2 p.m.
internet
at the Sunderland Crematorium. Remember, the Veterans Breakfast Club that is starting up every second Wednesday starts this coming Wednesday in the Black Cats Bar at 9 o'clock in the morning, run by volunteers, full English breakfast from 9 every second Wednesday in the Black Cats Bars for any former veterans.
Oh, it says Cullen Ball.
We're about to get underway here. It'll be Cardiff City, all in blue, who will get this game underway. They're defending the Roker end in this first half. The Cardiff players and the referee take the knee, and Andy Davis will get us underway as a dry afternoon now after a wet morning, and Cardiff's keeper Ryan Alsop, all in green, driving the ball upfield, but it comes back up into the centre circle. Marlon Romeo is under pressure immediately from Jack Clark, who's back in the side this afternoon, and Sunderland concede a throw to Cardiff City. Back in the Cardiff half on the right hand side, Patterson in goal, O'Nien, Wright, Barton, Sirkin, Neal and Barr, Roberts, Ahmad, Clark and Sims is the starting lineup for Sunderland. For Cardiff, it's Alsop in goal, Romeo, Unji, Kipre, Nkunku, and then across the middle, Ojo, who comes in, Wintle and Rawls, and across the front, Philogene, Harris and O'Dowda. As here, Ahmad on the right wing for Sunderland, inside again to Roberts, back inside to Roberts on the right of central midfield, into the middle then to Barr, and Barr turns, slips it through at the edge of the area to Clark, Sirkin's out wide, Barr has got it again, trying to get it through to Roberts on the left corner of the penalty area, but Cardiff get it clear for the moment, and they win it back on that far side through Philogene, Jayden Philogene, who's on loan from Aston Villa, spent some time in the second half of last season on loan at Stoke City. As the ball comes back through to Bailey Wright, then to Danny Bart, forwards to Barr, back to Barr, back again to Patterson, who's gone for the yellow goalkeeping kick this afternoon. He swings it out wide right, looks for O'Nien, it comes off him and picked off by O'Dowda, played back to Nkunku, who's on loan from Everton, no stranger to Ellis Sims, who's lurking in the Cardiff penalty area, and then played through to Unji, who's Singapore is a country he could be eligible for. There's a few problems over his British passport if he ever is to represent Singapore. You may remember Perry Ng when he played at Crewe when Sunderland played there in League One. Here they try and push out from the back, and the ball played back through to goalkeeper Ryan Alsop.
And when you look at the middle three for Sunderland, it's a very youthful middle three, isn't it? Really.
Cheers, Tilly. Thanks, mate.
Dan Neal.
Yeah.
And then you've got Ahmed as well, who's just playing behind.
And Sims ahead of them as it comes back to Patterson.
There we go.
Played out wide to the left, looking for Clark. It's played on to Barr, back out on the left now. Ahmad has drifted out to that left-hand side now. I think he's seemingly got a free roll. He's tried to get into the penalty area, but blocked, and the ball will break back for Dan Neal here on the left-hand side. And then out wide to Sirkin and Clark trying to take on the last man into the penalty area, still going, drives a shot, just round the post.
Must be corner.
I think it's a corner. Took a deflection off a Cardiff defender. So Sunderland, a corner early on here. Ahmad, short corner from Roberts. Ahmad trying to get to the goal line, trying to get round Philogene, plays it back here to Roberts at the edge of the penalty area, curls the ball. Well, I think he was trying to shoot, but it went wider towards the left and is cleared by Cardiff City. Back to Dan Neil now, who's caught on the ball, and Harris is on the break now. Mark Harris for Cardiff, trying to get back in front of him. His bar, it slipped through here in the penalty area onto the left foot, and a wide shot.
That should have been 1-0 Cardiff there. Crikey.
Philogene, I think, or it might be Ojo behind him. Ojo. And Cardiff will feel they should have scored, and that was all from a mistake by Dan Neil.
Nick, here is something which we discussed in the programme on Total Sport last night regarding Dan Neil. That, you know, teams will do the homework on Dan Neil. And it's, you know, how many times have we seen that this season already, where you've got had his pockets pinched,
hasn't he? Yeah.
And you've got to remember that, especially, you know, him being a holding midfield player, being the last man, you cannot afford to lose the ball. He's got to move things quicker. You know, he tries to have a touch.
A sweeter touch from Ojo, and Sunderland could have been 1-0 down. Throw to Cardiff, and Nkunku, Niels Nkunku, Frenchman. Back it comes all the way to the goalkeeper, Ryan Alsop. Very experienced keeper, signed from Derby in the summer. Plays it out now through Ng up to the halfway line, trying to find out Dowda on the left-hand wing, Republic of Ireland international. Back again here to Kipre, who's on loan from West Bromwich Albion, the Ivory Coast centre half.
Thank you very much.
Back now to Ng. Ahead of him, Rawls, but he's going to go longer. He's looking, well, it's dropped back to Ojo, and Ojo lays it off, and it's played out wide, and it's come back inside now to Harris, who's tackled. Flicked out quickly by Barr here to Clark. Clark on the break over the halfway line, wide on the left-hand side. Sims in the middle. He's got Ahmad behind him. He's gone into the penalty area, but it's a free kick against Clark for a foul on Rawls.
Yeah, you've seen that.
Foul on Joe Rawls, and the free kick then to Cardiff from the right side of central midfield.
There's a lot of responsibility put on the likes of Dan Neil and Barr in the middle of the park, you know, because of the age. You know, that, you know, understanding what's around and when to go, when not to go. You're playing that sort. One of us have got to sit in that holding role as well.
0-0, we're in the 6th, 7th minute. The ball headed back by Bailey Wright to Anthony Patterson. Away to our left, below the north stand. And Wright here brings the ball out, plays it up into the centre circle. Picked up by Ng, who's
look lively,
pushed
Cardiff,
forwards
when they're going forward, mind.
and played out wide and back inside, and now Philogene trying to get the ball through down that right wing, down into the corner. Romeo pulls it back here, and it's
You've got to get out to him. You've got to get out to him.
To the corner of the penalty area. Square to Philogene, but cut out here by Dan Neil, who's sprinting out with this now over the halfway line. Lays it off on the left-hand side to Sims. Sims now in the middle. He's got support down the right, but it's a poor pass for Roberts, and it's cut out by Nkunku and played up into.
That was a bad pass. We were through there as well.
Bad pass again.
And here's Cardiff trying to find Ojo, trying to play it through.
Son.
Right through into the hands of Patterson.
Time in the world as well.
It's Swansea 0, Wigan 1. It's 0-0 here.
Got to make these count.
Remember, we've got live commentary as well from Gateshead. Gateshead against Stevenage in the FA Cup on FM. Rugby Union as well. The Falcons in action this afternoon as well.
You've just got a feeling this game's a little bit too open for me.
Isn't it?
Yeah, too many stray passes already we've seen.
I get the feeling there'll be goals in this game. As forwards down the right-hand side, O'Nien out to Roberts on the right-hand side. Roberts inside to Ahmad. Ahmad across to O'Nien on the wing. Now looking for Roberts. He's got to come round O'Dowda in the penalty area, and he's slipped the ball into O'Nien. A driven shot blocked by Kipre, and then cleared from the edge of the penalty area by Wintle.
Sorry about the breakdown.
And a high ball floats up to the halfway line. Headed on here to
Oh, you got to make sure.
Thanks for the
Ahmad, he's got
subscribe
caught
there,
on
John.
that far side
Cheers, mate.
by
Thank you.
Romeo.
Thanks for the subscription there.
Ahmad's helped to his feet. And I must say, Ahmad's busy. He's everywhere at the moment in this
That was
first
the
few
bar,
minutes.
wasn't it? Bar. On the far side.
And was it Bar?
Yeah, bar.
Yeah, I think it probably was Bar. You say Ahmad's still buzzing around left to right. Bar's okay. Free kick to Cardiff City. Just inside their half on the right-hand side. Just tap back to Ng. And he slips it through now to Philogene. And Philogene trying to dribble past Neil, who stabs it away, but it's won by Cardiff. It was straight to a Cardiff player, out to O'Dowda and back to Nkunku, and now into the middle where Wintle tries to find Ojo. He's trying to get around O'Nien. He's got an advantage. O'Nien fouled him. O'Nien just trying to shuffle the ball back and stop it going out behind. He does that. It's a throw to Cardiff on the left-hand side. O'Nien's been spoken to by the referee.
Yeah, O'Nien just holding back some players there.
Middlesbrough 0, Bristol City 1.
Middlesbrough always start off shite, don't they?
And interestingly, Andy Davis, a former player, he's having words with players when there's been free kicks. He's not, you know, it's just being sensible, I think, here.
He is being sensible, but he could easily have given a free kick there against O'Nien.
Easily. Just let play go on. And now here's Nkunku, trying to get into the penalty area. Tackled at the edge of the box by Neil. Hooked away by O'Nien. Kipre heads it back into the centre. Rawls lays it off now, or Wintle lays it off to Ng. Out to Romeo on the far side. And back to Ng, just inside the Sunderland half. He tried to play it forwards, blocked by Barr. Throw for Cardiff on the far side. Sunderland 0, Cardiff City 0. We played 10.5 minutes of the first half. We're live on BBC Radio Newcastle. Earlier on this afternoon, Forest Green with 2 Connor Wickham goals beat South Shields in the FA Cup first round. Here's Harris
getting a lot of possession at the minute. I'm sure the lads will pick up on
front.
this.
And it's back to Ng, back to the goalkeeper Ryan Alsop. Dean Whitehead is now first team coach at Cardiff City, appointed this week, the former Sunderland midfielder. Here's Kipre. He's turned and he's played it back to Alsop just outside his penalty area in his green goalkeeping kit. Cardiff all in blue, swinging the ball out wide left, looking for O'Dowda, chests it back down to Nkunku, back to O'Dowda, then down the left of the penalty area to Rawls. Rawls crosses, it's headed clear by Bailey Wright. But Neil
can't muck about with these,
Ahmad,
Cardiff.
to Roberts just in front of him, and he plays it off O'Dowda for a throw to Sunderland, which I think will be left for O'Nien to take on this right-hand side.
Oh, don't say that a fucking penalty.
A poor pass. Back
penalty.
What's happened here? Is it a penalty kick?
It's a penalty.
Bailey Wright played the ball back across the penalty area.
Penalty.
And Philogene on the shoulder of Bart was pulled down, and the referee has given a penalty to Cardiff City.
Oh, we're all worse fucking enemy, like.
In the 12th minute, a penalty
fucking about
for a foul by Bart, pulling down Philogene.
Too many stray passes, Nick. Too many bad passes we've seen already.
How open the game.
It was open. It was, you know, again, you're looking at the ball, what was supposedly played back to Patterson.
A chance there.
Get in! Patterson saved
Cardiff
it!
City to open the scoring here in the 13th minute. And a save from Rawls by Patterson. Diving to his left. Guessing it right, and Rawls penalty. He gets punched away for a throw.
Yeah, he guessed right. It was played at a nice height for Patterson, but an excellent save, and hopefully that's a wake-up call.
Yes, Simon, stop fucking about with the ball.
So it's 0-0 still, and Rawls, he struck it firmly. A good height for Patterson, he still had to go the right way. And the Roker sings he's one of our own. Sunderland 0, Cardiff City 0. Penalty saved by Patterson.
Yeah, it's a wake-up call, Nick.
It is a wake-up call.
Because you just look at that present moment, we've got no sort of leadership out there. Young lads, young team, fantastic ability, but you've got to try to make the right decisions.
And Ahmad trying to clear it, goes, hangs in the air. Philogene put it back into the penalty area, and it's headed behind for a corner again to Cardiff City.
We are all over the place at times, aren't we?
Down on the left-hand side here, Wintle to take this corner for Cardiff. I say corner again, it's their first. But Wintle then, down on the left-hand side. He's got Ojo, former Liverpool midfielder, winger, in close by as well. Looks as though this will be swept in though towards the far post. Kipre looking for it, heads it back down, it's driven in from Rawls, it's cleared by Sunderland, comes back out to Nkunku, and he lifts it over the top again, trying to get Marlon Romeo in, but it's been headed down and out to Jack Clark with Barr in support. He's got Sims calling for it, waiting for it, but it's played to Roberts. Roberts now down here on the right of the penalty area, low ball driven in by Ahmad, cleared by Cardiff. Comes back out to Roberts. Roberts trying to weave a way through past 4 Cardiff players, but eventually hooked away by Wintle up into the centre circle. Bart brings it down for Neil. Neil back to Bailey Wright, and then forwards to O'Nien, to Ahmad, back to O'Nien, and back again to Danny Barr, under pressure from Philogene, trying to get away from him and Ojo. Fouled by Ojo, right in front of the referee, who's all in black. And a free kick.
Cheers for the subscription there, Jeff.
Sunderland.
Thank you.
How many?
Swansea 0, Wigan 2.
How many minutes have we played?
We played nearly 15.
Very, very open game.
And we've seen a penalty saved. Rotherham 0, Norwich 1.
So what?
Here now is Bailey Wright. Right to Neil, back to Patterson at the edge of the area. Patterson trying to find Sirkin, but it's driven out. It's a throw to
just hit it at
Cardiff.
The keeper. Well, it's not the keeper. He just hit it on the deck. And
Stoke 0, Birmingham 1. They just cannot seemingly get a result. I know it's early days at home, Stoke under Alex Neil. And 1-0 down to Birmingham, Sunderland's opponents on Friday night, of course. BBC Radio Newcastle, we're into the 17th minute. It's 0-0 here. As Harris lays the ball off and trying to work his way through is Wintle, but it's won back by Sunderland. And now trying to break through the middle is Ahmad, Barr, sorry, and Barr drives it from 25 yards over the bar.
And again, naivety. If you look to his right, he's got Roberts who he could played in.
Yeah, a little bit impetuous, but nonetheless probably worth a go if he felt if he could have kept it down, but it didn't force Allsop into a save. 0-0 still. The interim coach for Cardiff, Mark Hudson, although the club say they're not looking for anybody else, has a word with the 4th official. Former Fulham and Cardiff player. He played for Cardiff for 5 years, back at the end of the 2000s. Here's Nkunku in front of Tony Mowbray with a throw for Cardiff. Dropped short, it's come back to him from Rawls and then back to Ng in the middle of the Cardiff half. Sims tries to close him down. It's played back to Kipre from Wintle. Ryan Wintle, and Kipre shows too much of it to Ahmad. He gets the ball to Sims and we'll get it back, Ahmad, but back comes Wintle and drives it behind for a corner to Sunderland.
That's twice already we've seen Sims that he could have done better with the pass.
Yeah, a little bit out of sorts in that sense. So from this right-hand side, Roberts with the second corner of the game for Sunderland. The referee wants
to clear the rubbish
off the pitch. Lots of the red and white cards that form that magnificent poppy display strewn on the pitch and the pitch side. Andy Davis just gets rid of them. Patrick Roberts then with this corner from the right for Sunderland at the Roker end on this sort of fairly misty sort of looking afternoon. Damp. Roberts then, a lot of movement in the penalty area, the referee's keeping an eye on. It looks fairly open as the ball's swept in here, headed it back to the far post and trying to get a foot on it was Neil, but it comes down off his left foot behind for a goal kick. So 0-0. We've played, we're getting on for 20 minutes in the 20th minute of the first half. Live on BBC Radio Newcastle. That's Gateshead 0, high-flying League 2 Stevenage 1 in the FA Cup first round. Here's Kipre, Cedric Kipre out to Nkuku on the left wing, comes back into the Cardiff half. Wintle trying to head it forwards, back again from Bailey Wright. Wintle lays it off to Marlon Romeo, the Antigua and Barbuda international, played up to Ojo. Ojo now trying to shimmy his way past Sirkin, but he can't. Sirkin gives it away. It's picked up on the right side by
fucking passes man today.
Marlon Romeo, but lost again this time out from Danny Bart.
He's given it
and
away.
The ball's given away now by
passes man.
Ahmad, and it's with Romeo. Back to Philogene, closed down quickly by Neil, played back to Wintle, to Rawls just to his left, back to Ryan Wintle, and then across here now to Kipre, just inside the Sunderland half, wide left to Nkuku, and it comes off Roberts, off for a throw to Sunderland because it just rolled off the ankle of Nkuku.
Tony Mowbray must be pulling his hair out. The amount of bad passes we've made in this first 20-odd minutes of the game.
O'Nien with this throw for Sunderland on the right. 0-0. It's not a great throw either. It's sort of slipped out of his hands into the air and down. It's just indicative of everything, isn't it? Nothing's going right in that. Can't pass, can't throw. At least they've saved a penalty. Allsop with a kick wide on the right, looking for Philogene. It's going to bounce off him. It's just slipped out.
Philogene,
nearly kept it in. The throw to Bailey Wright. Back out to Sirkin, who slips. He's tripped, in fact, to cause the slip. And so a free kick. Sirkin drives this up straight to Romeo. One back by Clark, though, on the far side. In fact, both sides are as bad as each other, actually.
To be fair, it's becoming a laugh, isn't it?
I don't know what it is. Is it the surface? Is it the weather? Is it just they're just not out of the blocks yet? Here's
both
Roberts.
Teams have been out on the air the night before, I think.
Dan Neil, he's under pressure, gets the ball out to Roberts again, back to Luke O'Nien at the corner of his own penalty area, looking for Sin, headed away by Kipre. It'd be a throw to Sunderland just down by Tony Mowbray on this right hand side. We're almost halfway through the first half. 0-0. O'Nien gets it to Neil, back to Neil on his chest. He's under pressure from Ojo, and the ball out for a throw to Cardiff, this time back inside.
Don't hit the like button and hit the subscribe button.
Ojo, who spent last season on loan at Millwall, the former Liverpool midfielder. Back to Kipre. Kipre back to keeper Allsop, left edge of his penalty area. He drives it wide right, looking for Romeo. He heads it on. Philogene tried to play it through, but it was blocked. Comes back then to Unji, drives it forwards, came off Sirkin, who gets it back now to Danny Bart, back again to Bailey Wright. And Bailey Wright across here to Luke O'Nien, out wide to Ahmad. Ahmad in his own half, on the right side of midfield, to Barr, just ahead of him in the middle of the Sunderland half, trying to shake off Rawls, gets it through to Ahmad in the centre circle. And Ahmad now laying it off behind him to Dan Neil. Dan Neil across here to O'Nien. O'Nien stabbing it on to Roberts on the touchline in front of Mark Hudson. Ahmad has to stretch and gets it back only to Mark Harris. tackled and he tried to be tackled by Neil, but he's got away from him, Harris. He's got Romeo on the break here on the right. Romeo's cross blocked, though, in the penalty area by Bart. It'll be a throw to Cardiff, a yard or two up from the corner flag on the right-hand side. Throw will be taken by Romeo. He needs some help. He finds Philogene back to. He looked to get it back perhaps, but he's just caught at the moment on the touchline, sandwiched between Neil and Sirkin. Slips it inside to Ojo, gets the ball back here, and is trying to break into the penalty area. And Philogene gets a shot away, but down goes Patterson to make the save. So 0-0. And we played. We're in the 25th minute. Out to Bailey Wright. Bailey Wright lifting this over the halfway line. Kipre, Ahmad whips it off him, but it comes out for a throw to Cardiff.
Don't look a bad
on this
side,
left-hand
Cardiff,
side on halfway. And Cuckoo coming forwards from a Marseille defender to take the throw. Drops for Rawls. Joe Rawls, over 300 appearances for Cardiff. He's been with the club since 2010, 12 years at Cardiff City, Joe Rawls. And Cuckoo takes the throw to O'Dowda. He's trying to get away from O'Nien, getting away from Barr. Still going O'Dowda, lays it off on the right here to Romeo, who drives a shot at Sirkin, blocked. Out to Clark, back to Sirkin, and he's tripped. Is he by Romeo? Yes, says Andy Davis. It's a free kick on the left of midfield, inside their own half for Sunderland. Bart comes out to take it wide, halfway inside their own half.
Flat the atmosphere at the stadium.
The ball driven on right through the middle. Ahmad had gone through the centre, but back it comes to Allsop, passes it away past Sims, out to the right to Unji, and Unji slips the ball into the middle.
It's so open, it's unbelievable.
It's wide open on the left-hand side here for Cardiff. O'Dowda on the left, Rawls still going. O'Dowda now down the left of the penalty area, squares it into the penalty area for Philogene. He's now going to try and pick out a right foot shot as it comes off the ankle of Bailey Wright. It's a corner.
I'll tell you what,
to Cardiff.
No disrespect, Nick, but you need a Corey Evans in there at the present moment in that midfield. Yeah, they're talented players in there, but we are all over the place. So much space in that middle of the park.
It is very open, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no floor at all. Look disjointed.
You need a Corey Evans in there just to give us a little bit of shape in there.
Calmness.
It's definitely no shape.
Rawls with this corner again then from the left-hand side for Cardiff, who sit 18th in the table at the start of today. Here's Rawls then, left-footed. Someone's dived at it and gone flat on their face. I think it was Romeo, I think. But it's come back out here now for Nkuku, who puts the ball to Kipre.
Time.
The missed clearance drops for Romeo. Crashed against Bailey Wright, Romeo's shot. And now with Rawls on the left of the penalty area. And again, it's played off O'Nien for another corner. O'Nien goes flat on his face. I think he's caught where it.
I think he's been caught in the old midships there.
Than anywhere else.
I tell you what, Nick. What a 25 minutes we've seen. You know, we've got no leadership in there at the present moment. Nobody's taking responsibility. We're panicking. We're wide open.
O'Nien's crouched down now,
and referees told him to count him.
That would have hurt.
It warmed him up.
He's walking.
It warmed him up
towards the 6-yard box.
On a serious note, Nick, we've got to defend better. We're panicking.
It's panic defending. It's more by luck than judgment. Actually, a lot of the clearances. Here's Rawls with a short corner to Ojo here. Back to Rawls on his right foot, curls it into the penalty area. O'Nien puts a foot through it, and then it's Roberts who's trying to get it away on the left.
Give it away again.
though by Philogene. Kipre still wants it. It's come through to him across the 6-yard box. Two there, Harris and Ng, but they couldn't get their foot on it. Well, Harris and Wintle, nobody could get their foot on it. Sunderland got away with it, and they bring it out now, out to Clark on the left wing from Neil. He's got Barr inside of him. Clark still going, finds Barr, he's onside, and he has to try and curl this in towards Roberts, but it's headed away by Wintle, and it's out now for another break over the halfway line if they can get this way down the left-hand side.
Cardiff looking the most dangerous out of the two of scoring, I would say.
Rawls, O'Dowda now down this left-hand side, played back to Rawls to Wintle, just in front of the centre circle, out wide to Romeo on the far side, halfway inside the Sunderland half, back inside to Ojo, and Ojo to Romeo again, and Romeo inside to Wintle, plays it out wide again here to Ojo.
You've got to go to him.
He's going to try a shot which is blocked by Barr, picks himself up off the floor. It's come out to Ahmad, and Ahmad now will play it back to Patterson. One kick clearance up towards Ng. Down it drops on halfway. Wintle plays it back to Kipre, falls to Rawls. Rawls now here to Nkuku. Nkuku to O'Dowda, back to Nkuku to O'Dowda, back to Nkuku, and Nkuku is going to play it across to Ng, who whips it out to Romeo on the right wing, halfway inside the Sunderland half. Ojo is making a run. It's played through though to Harris at the edge of the penalty area. Cleared by Bart, only as far as Rawls. And now to Ojo again, through to Harris in the penalty area, laid off to Romeo on the right-hand side, and Romeo is trying to come in and puts it on his left foot, is caught by Patterson.
I would even wait till half-time, Nick, because we are all over the place.
Stop copying, Gary.
Seriously.
Well, we've got 15 minutes till the break.
We've spoke highly about the young players in the team and about how much ability and talent they've got, but game understanding is poor. Shape of the team poor, passing poor, panicking.
Bailey Wright long up over the head of Roberts, drops to Nkuku, and then he plays it down straight to O'Nien, to Roberts in front of Tony Mowbray. It's whipped out by Nkuku for a throw to Sunderland on the right hand side. 0-0 if you're just joining us on BBC Radio Newcastle. Stevenage are leading Gateshead 1-0. Earlier today Forest Green beat South Shields 2-0. 2 goals from the former Sunderland striker Connor Wickham. But South Shields acquitted themselves well.
Look at this.
High ball up onto halfway, and Cuckoo to Wintle. It was from Patterson, the ball now. Ojo wins it.
Down again. See, he's going to get a booking.
Dan Neil.
We haven't got that holding midfield, that player with the experience. We're all over the place. Every opportunity Barr's trying to get forward. At times, he's just got to sit in the middle of the park.
Yeah, booking for Neil.
I'll get Dan Neil off.
You know, you're asking a job from Dan Neil to sit in there. That's not his job. He's not a holding midfielder.
No.
And then you've got Matt Ahmed. He's a 10. So all of a sudden, in the middle of the park, you're all 10, open.
8, 6 and everything else this afternoon. He's buzzing everywhere. Ng back to Wintle in the centre circle, now to Kipre. Kipre back across to Ng. Short to Rawls, back comes to Wintle, through to Harris.
Open
Harris
in the middle of the park.
Well, he's skipped round Neil, who's now on a yellow card, has to be careful. Rawls back to Ng, into the middle again, Wintle. He's got Philogene wide, he's got Romeo out there as well. It's cut out though by Sirkin. Played on now to Clark. Looking for Sims on halfway. Comes off Sims for a throw. On the right.
It's Cardiff ball. It's
quick throw. Romeo.
Where do you start?
Back to Ng. It's now Gateshead 0, Stevenage 2 in the FA Cup first round. Kipre through to O'Dowda, back out to Nkuku on the left in his own half, looking for the run of Ojo down this left-hand side. O'Nien's going to get back here. Ojo into the penalty area. Across comes Bailey Wright. It's a throw to.
If we get to half-time, Nick, 0-0, I tell you what, we've done well.
Will you get a tattoo of Marco Gabbiadini on your bum if we get to half-time 0-0?
My bum's not that big to get that in.
And Nkuku, we had Nkuku's cross. It's cleared. It's come out to Roberts, a Newcastle fan actually texted the programme last night, Total Sport, to say that if Newcastle got 4 points in the next 2 games, he would do just that. The ball's put out for a throw to Sunderland on the right, just inside the Cardiff half. Patrick Roberts takes it back to O'Nien inside.
Give it away again. Give it away again.
Giving away to Rawls, and now Ojo plays it back here to Nkuku, swinging it up, looking for Philogene, but Sirkin lets it drop over his shoulder and will now take it away on that left-hand side. Philogene goes to close him down. Driven up to the halfway line, straight to Ng. Back it comes. Bart clears out for a throw to Cardiff. No clarity, as the players were saying the other week in that game against Burnley. Throw then a third of the way inside the.
See, look where you see, for me, look where Barr is. He can't be ahead of the ball.
Well, Sims is up in the Cardiff half. Ahmad's in the
Look where our midfield 3 are.
And now it's come back here to Ng, back to Allsop at the edge of his area. Sims goes to close him down. Allsop's kick down the left. O'Nien chests it back. Bailey Wright has to get this back safely to Patterson, who passes it out to O'Nien at a stretch, brings it down and plays it to Bart, then forwards to Barr, out to Sirkin on the left-hand side, wide, and up to Clark. Sirkin on the overlap. Clark now down that left-hand side, finds Sirkin chasing onto this, tries to pull it back, wins a corner. So Sunderland corner over on the left-hand side this time, and Sims just recovering the ball. I'm assuming Clark's going to take this. He is. Jack Clark from the left at the Roker end. 0-0 in the 35th minute.
Can we get a set piece? Can we score from the set piece?
There's a Cardiff player down here. I think it's Nkuku. It's been helped to his feet by Bailey Wright. Blackburn 1, Huddersfield 0. Referees come across for a quick consultation with Romeo, it was. And now Jack Clark with his corner from the left-hand side for Sunderland.
Come on, Danny Bart.
With his right, plays it down the line. And it's going to be whipped in by Patrick Roberts. And it's dropped here for Bart, who tried to spin on it at the edge of the area, but he couldn't get any grip on it. And it's away down the left. And Nkuku gets away here from Dan Neil. And it's wide open here for Philogene. Philogene down the right-hand side. Ahmad's got back. He's tried to play it through to Ojo, but it runs safely through the penalty area behind for a goal kick. O'Dowda felt he was fouled. At the Cardiff bench are furious. They're raging at the fourth official.
Yeah, we've done plenty.
But it's going to be a goal kick to Sunderland.
Nick, again, we've nearly got caught out again from our set piece.
Yeah,
I cannot believe how bad we are.
Oh, I think Tony Mowbray will be quite pleased to get them in at the break. Goal kick for Sunderland. Patterson's placed the ball on the left edge of his 6-yard box. Drives this wide left, looking for Sims. Against nobody, his head on it, but there's nobody ahead of him.
Nobody ahead of him.
Kipre back to Allsop, the goalkeeper. And Allsop plays this out to the left.
See, we're all over the place in midfield. We don't know if we're coming or going.
He's got Neil ahead of him to come past. He's still got O'Dowda, and he's slipped it through to Harris. Flag down, he's put it wide.
I tell you what,
Patterson came out to close down.
They have not got a clue what they're doing.
Why?
Harris will feel he should have done better. But again, just wide open.
There's no defensive midfield player in there to pull the strings, to say go left, go right. Who's going to go and attack the ball?
Now what's happened here? The referee, Patterson takes a goal kick, the ball's gone out, the whistle's blown, the referee's come back for a word with Sims and Ng. And the ball returned to Anthony Patterson. The referee's had a word. Tony Mowbray's waving vigorously.
Yeah, because I think he wants Clark. I don't know what he wants Clark to do. And Barr coming over it. Shape-wise, he's put Ahmed over there now.
Ahmed tried to get a foot on it. Kipre gets his foot to it first. It's a throw to Sunderland. Halfway inside their own half on the left. Sirkin.
He's trying to tell Barr to play on this right-hand side now.
With the throw. Unji heads it away. Sirkin heads it on again.
Yeah.
Comes straight to Rawls. Rawls will steer it back to Unji. Unji through to Wintle, to Kipre to the left, and he's got Nkuku on the left wing. Ojo on halfway. Ojo gets it out to Nkuku. Nkuku gets away from Neil, leaves it for Rawls, who's looking for Ojo, but plays it over his head and out for a throw to Sunderland. And we've played, what, 30? Nearly 40 minutes, actually.
Hurry up. 45 minutes, get to half-time.
Yeah, if we can get half
0-0.
Without
penalty save from Rawls
in
the 13th minute.
They don't know what they're doing. As simple as that, especially in the middle of the park. Ahmed's got his arms out, as told to say, where do you want me to play?
Roberts back out to O'Nien, to Sims, back to Roberts, blocked by Kipre, up towards Harris, headed away by Bailey Wright. Back it comes, Bailey Wright has to head it down again. O'Nien will have to try and get it down the line. It comes off O'Dowda.
Look at Tony Mowbray gesturing to Ahmed. He wants him to. He hasn't got a clue where he's going. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's asking him to play in a role he doesn't know nothing about.
There's a lot of arm and hand movement going on between Ahmad and Tony Mowbray. Ahmad's in the centre circle at the moment. O'Nien with a throw back to Bailey Wright. And Bailey Wright drives it straight at O'Dowda. It comes off for another throw to Sunderland. O'Nien again then with this throw.
He's gone down.
And
yeah. And G, is it?
And G's gone down, hasn't he?
Now maybe Tony Mowbray is trying to talk.
No, he's chatting to Ahmad, isn't he? He's trying to explain.
It's not just Ahmad. You know, the three of them in there are all over the place. We're wide open.
Ahmad and Robertson in front of Tony Mowbray. I'm not quite sure how much Ahmad actually understands.
While this is doing nothing.
No, it's not just him, Nick. Yeah, talented, but I just think, you know, you look at how long have they been working on this system? Have they just thrown it together?
Well, it looks a bit like it, doesn't it?
It does.
We're into the 42nd minute. And G's up on his feet. He's just
sometimes you can be too clever, can't you?
But it's interesting the changes that Tony Mowbray made, and I think he said after he was angry after the game on Wednesday night, because he was trying to remind the young players that, you know, whilst they won, they didn't play well, and
they're not playing well today.
And they're not playing well now, are they?
So what's the answer to that?
Can't have any music playing.
Well, the 4 changes wasn't the answer, was it? At the moment.
Never played well. You got a result on Wednesday.
There's a throw from O'Nien. Now, Roberts, Kipre's come to close him down. Roberts trying to get into the penalty area, and the ball slipped over the goal line. It's pulled it back for the goalkeeper. It's too big an arse for Patrick Roberts. 0-0. 3 minutes till half-time, whatever is added on as well. I think Tony Mowbray will be pleased to get them in at the break. And what they don't want to do is what they have seemingly a habit of doing, is conceding right at the end of the
half-time, yeah.
See this out, get them in. Throw to Cardiff on the left-hand side here inside the Sunderland half. And Cuckoo's come down to take this halfway to Ojo, back out to Nkuku on the touchline, and Nkuku trying to get around Roberts, and Roberts has lost out this time, but the ball rolled for Neil, but it's come straight up to Kipre, and then to Unji, and out to Romeo on the far side. Romeo Clark in front of him, slips it inside to Ojo, back out to Romeo, back again to Ng, and back to the goalkeeper, Ryan Allsop. Out to Kipre, and then swung across to Nkuku, loses control of it, bounces into the hands of Mowbray, Tony Mowbray, for a throw to Sunderland, which
they're the ones who are playing with a lot of confidence, Nick, aren't they?
Well, they knock it around nicely. Yep. Looking for Sims, down the right, he slips. Kipre will let the ball roll behind to the goal kick. Swansea 1, Wigan 2. Cardiff have lost 4 of the last 5. Only 1 draw away from home. Their win was against Rotherham, 1-0, and that Rotherham at the moment not enjoying a good spell, are they?
Well, one thing's for sure is that Mark Hutton will be going in at half-time. If they're going as we are at the present moment, he'll be wondering how come they're not leading.
Well, especially with a penalty for starters. 0-0. We've got just a minute or two for 45. The ball's played back by Wintle to Allsop, the goalkeeper.
They've had some good opportunities.
So far, thank you.
Ball driven up by Allsop, looking for Philogene, leaps for it, comes back to Ojo. He's holding off Neil at the moment, and Neil's got the ball off him. He did well there. He finds Clark now making a break down the left. Ahmad's ahead of him. He's got Sims through the middle. He plays it to Barr in the middle, and Barr now is cut out by O'Dowda's head.
Right down.
Throw for Sunderland, 4 or 5 yards to the corner flag on the right. The 4th official comes out for Stephen Martin to show us how
offside.
Much. And
getting turned down.
A throw now to.
Because I can't have it on the background.
2 minutes.
Cardiff, 2 minutes. We're into those 2 minutes. It was a free kick in the end. It's half-time at Gateshead. Stevenage leading 2-0. We get the story of that and of South Shields half-time. We've got a minute and a half left of the minimum
drinks,
2 minutes.
Concentrate. That's what they've got to do, Nick. Get to half-time. Get it all sorted out at half-time.
Allsop with the kick over the halfway line. Down the left, O'Dowda looking for it. Right heads it away. Wintle heads it on again. Back comes Bailey Wright to head it back up into the centre circle. Beaten to it, Ahmad, by Romeo. It's in the air. Neil gets it on his head. It's in the air again, down to Sirkin, who's trying to get this forward. Stumbles. Free kick to Sunderland. Just inside the Sunderland half. Philogene penalised. Just left of the centre circle. Barr left to retrieve the ball. It'll be Bart who takes the free kick. We've technically got 45 seconds left. Here's Bailey Wright out to the right, straight though to Nkuku. He gets in front of Roberts, but it's won back by Roberts. And now back to Dan Neil on the right hand side, to O'Nien on halfway, back to Bailey Wright. And Bailey Wright, free kick this time for a foul on O'Dowda.
Luke O'Nien
and Luke O'Nien has now
fouled him.
Suspended on Friday night.
Silly, you know, we're right on half-time here, Nick. Gives a free kick off the ball.
And a stupid free kick because he can't play against Birmingham now.
And creates pressure. What, last
you
20
only had
seconds
to see through today's game and you'd have escaped the ban.
That's frustration as well.
It is, and it's a stupid one to give away.
Yeah.
And if they do something stupid now, Tony Mowbray will be furious. Rawls with a free kick. It's headed away by Sirkin. There, in fact, is the half-time whistle. And
that's the half-time. We're going to catch up with the lads.
Guaranteed. Is that 5 yellow cards he's had so far this season then? And to be fair, it's the World Cup break now. At least he gets to go home.
What did you think of that
Get
first
Evans
half
on,
then, lads?
says Crumpet, welcome along, buddy. Wolves red card.
Yeah.
Could
be a penalty. Could be another penalty.
Yeah.
There's no way it's going to be another penalty.
Can you guys hear me all right or not?
Send off. This is ridiculous. Agreed, Mike.
Hello.
Ben, the first, like,
Hello.
15, 20 minutes was actually pretty good.
Yeah, but we need to make our passes count. We're not doing that for some strange reason.
Yeah, I wonder if Brighton will get a penalty.
Testing.
Brighton will...
Testing.
Man. Yeah, it'll be a penalty.
I might say why it doesn't. It might not be.
Experience in the middle. You mean confidence, and it's just your phone's auto-corrected that, I'm guessing.
Can you guys hear all right?
Confidence and experience down the middle of the park. But just accuracy of passes, that's the difference. Luton all over again. As long as it's not a fucking Blackpool game, that would be...
We were awful against Blackpool, weren't we?
Right. I'll be back in a minute.
Oakley dokley. Right, should we go through the half-time scores up and down the league? And then we'll have a look. No penalty to your understanding. Okay. Not a pen. So, it's not a pen for the Wolves player getting sent off from Wahoo and Super Roll there. Right, half-time scores up and down the league. Here we go. New Sport Football Championship. There you go. Okay. So, half-time whistle has gone across the league. Blackburn are beating Huddersfield 1-0. Blackpool and Luton are 0-0. Middlesbrough are 1-0 down at home to Bristol City. Millwall and Hull are 0-0, with Hull down to 10 men. No, we can't hear you. You're not even in the call. Let me just look. Try that. There you are. You're back in the call.
You hear me now, yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you now, DJ. QPR and West Brom is still 0-0. Rotherham are 1-0 down behind to Norwich. Stoke are 1-0 down behind to Birmingham. Sunderland and Cardiff is still 0-0, despite Cardiff having a penalty and missing. Swansea Wigan is Wigan 2-1 up, but we know what Wigan are like. They are likely to fuck that up. And Watford versus Coventry is still 0-0. Apart from the Sheffield Burnley game, there's not been... and the Swansea game, there's not been a lot of action in the Championship. There's been a lot of penalty decisions in the Premier League, though. Leeds is losing 2-1 at home to Bournemouth. Fulham and Man City are 1-1, with Man City now down to 10 men. Nottingham Forest and Brentford are 1-1. And Wolves Brighton are 2-2, with Wolves down to 10 men. What a weird half of football. What a weird 45.
What was up with my microphone? Did it just go on mute, Anth?
No, we were talking to you, and you were just like randomly waffling in the background. So I think your microphone did something, and like we could hear you, and then you couldn't hear us, and yeah, it's just a bit weird. Can you hear me now, though?
Yeah, fine. I don't know what's going on. It's a very.
When your OBS crashed, did it just crash everything? And is that what?
I think it must have done. Yeah, I mean it's done that. It's done that with you yourself, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's done before. So whilst you're now back on here, I do want to call out. I have just updated the about section for this call, for this live stream, and I just want to make sure that the tags actually work. If you refresh the page and just check the about for this video or this stream, you can see Jacob's, DJ's and Darvlar's channel with the app tags. If you hit the subscribe on those channels, that would be really, really helpful for everybody involved. But then please do come back here as well, because we've got another good 45 minutes of football potentially ahead of us. Do you want to give your thoughts on the first half then, DJ? Because we didn't really hear a lot from you.
I just think it's a very panicky, disorganised, nobody knows where they're playing sort of performance from Sunderland at the moment. There's like running with lead shackles tied around their feet. It's like there's no flow, there's no alertness. There's just it's like we're stuck in second gear. We're kind of going up to the next gear. It's bizarre. There's just nothing happening for us, especially midfield. Gary Bennett's mentioned that quite a few times. We need some changes on at half time, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, because we just look. I can't understand it. There's just no flow. there's no rhythm. It's like, when you've seen someone pass the ball around and it's quick one-touch movement and stuff. There's just none of that. It's like 2 or 3 passes and then either we're hoofing the ball or we're just giving the ball away. It's like we're scared to go forward. There's something not clicking at all. I mean,
yeah,
I think Cardiff have been slightly, not much mind, but I think they've been slightly the better side the first half, and I think it's a massive bonus. Sunderland have gone in without conceding.
And the penalty, mate. You got to remember we saved a penalty in that as well.
It was a cracking save. I've got to say it was a really, really good save by Patterson and that. But he's got to make changes. I would get. I don't know. I can't remember if Bennett. I don't think Bennett's on the bloody bench, is he? Who would you fetch on? Any changes? Would you think?
There is plenty of changes that I would make. STO5, welcome along. To summarise how we've been performing in this first half, I'd say first 10, 15 minutes, we looked like the better team. Cardiff then try a counter-attack, get a penalty from nothing. It wasn't a penalty. The player just fell over. We saved that penalty, and then from that moment onwards, Cardiff have got the confidence that they can beat our defences, and the referee's looking at Sunderland as the aggressor in this match. I don't know how to. We've got to beat Cardiff, but we've also got to beat the fucking referee in this match. And I feel like I know Sunderland fans, and we've said it a couple of times this season, like we do seem to be riling on the referees as not officiating the match properly. But I think case in point, there was an effort where Roberts had the ball looped over the top to him, and he got pushed off the ball. Literally, hands up, both running. Defender pushes him. He doesn't fall over, and the ball goes out for a goal kick. That is still a foul, regardless if the player dramatised or didn't dramatise the fall. He didn't even fall over.
Well,
if he fell over, it would have been given as a foul, potentially a penalty.
Sorry, the kids were just shouting.
So, in terms of subs, yes, I'd look at replacing anybody who's on a yellow card. So, Danny Bath, Luke O'Nien, and Dan Neil. They're on cards because the player around them, they've got the better of them at that moment. So, yes, we need to react better. Coming out in the second half, I don't want another 15 minutes of good Sunderland football without a goal off the back of it, and then a shit final 30. I don't want to repeat.
The positive thing is, the only thing that can happen is we can only get better. That is the positive thing. And how many times have we been absolutely immense in the first half and we're sort of paranoid in the second half because we're usually shit after that. So there's only one way we can go from here, and I really want to see changes at half time. I'd be disappointed if we come out and it is the same 11.
I think we'll make one sub. If not, we'll make a sub at the 60-minute mark. What about you, Jacob?
Yeah, it's not been a great first half, and should be doing better. Especially, no disrespect to Cardiff, but especially should be, at them, and especially with our formation. But I'm still hoping the second half they make a few changes, and then do better in second half, because should be beating these lot, to be fair.
Got some comments on social media here, like.
Yeah, there you go. Go for it, buddy.
Someone says, need to get hold of the game, straight passes and too much space for Cardiff. Isn't it odd that Evans is a missing midfield, yet the Warriors are quick to criticise him every opportunity when he's playing? Worse 45 minutes than Burnley's second half, that rather would play without a striker.
No. I disagree. I wholeheartedly disagree with that. The Burnley second half was the worst performance I've seen in years.
Come on then. Ellis Sims has been non-existent, awful. Has to bring on Evans on. He has to bring Evans on and Pritchard. Can't be having that again. Our midfield is non-existent, so there we go. Not very fans.
To be fair, case in point, the midfield is non-existent. All of our efforts have been long balls. All of our half-decent chances have been counter-attacks that have been pinned over the top of everybody. And Clark or Roberts is trying to collect them on either wing.
Yes, darling.
So, interesting half of football. Frustrating ultimately, but like they just said, things can only really get better from here on in. Jacob.
Yeah.
Who you subbing off? Because do you think a sub's going to be made at half time? And if so, who? I've said it a couple of times, but
I don't know. I'd like to. I won't. Is Bailey right or no? Is he not?
Bailey White's on. Bailey White's on. He's made one really crucial block.
Yeah.
In terms of stats, by the way, we are topping only 2 stats in this game at the moment. That's offsides and yellow cards. The rest of them are and goalkeeper saves.
I think we should take off O'Nien, just because I don't want to get him sent off.
Well, he's already suspended for the next match, so I don't think him getting sent off is going to make that much of a difference in how we're currently performing. He's putting in his efforts. Just, I don't know. I think we're very, very slow on the ball. The passes are not coming our way. I think there's definitely a gear that we need to get into, and we haven't even hit first yet. So I think there's a rollicking happening right now at half time in that
Dressing room.
In that dressing room, that just has to be.
Right, so they deserve a bollocking.
Mate, honestly, how is that fucking given as a penalty? How is that given as a penalty?
Yeah, that's going to be a right prat in it for the rest of the game.
Yeah,
you can
see.
You can tell he's a cock. You can tell. I've had enough of
lads.
I've had enough of pissing me off. Really have. It can't go on. They need to investigate some of these referees because some of them are just clueless.
The fuck? Did you see that, by the way? On the penalty, I know this, like, nobody's looking at this, but the fucking linesman is in the middle of the pitch.
Don't think that's happened. I don't think I've seen that before with penalties. So that is a bit odd. So much chances we flucked away.
Yeah. I don't know. There's definitely something going to change in the second half. 2 seconds, I'm just going to shut this. 2. Loud. Oh, there you go. Good.
I've got the chips on for you, okay?
Oh, you got DJ talking about chips. I'm getting hungry. Thank you very much for that.
What?
Darv, are you back yet, mate?
Yeah, I've been back for a while.
Yeah, I just assumed that you would say I'm back when you came back from the loo.
No, I didn't want to interrupt you whilst you're talking.
Oh, I'm having a bit of a rant. So you've watched this match. You're not a Sunderland fan. You're not a Cardiff fan. What's your unbiased opinion so far?
Sunderland have had good tackling. You've got on the ball quite a lot, but you're giving it away pretty easily. You've had a couple of chances which you probably, in my opinion, probably should have put away. But I can also say the same
for Cardiff. Yeah. So do you think it's a bit more of a 50-50 game, or do you think it is leaning towards Cardiff?
I think if the Sunderland defence can tighten up a bit and stop playing through stupid balls, you should probably have this game. However, if you don't, I think it's probably going to slip between your fingers, and you're probably going to end up either drawing or losing.
But yes, thank you for that. That's not depressed me in 1 minute.
Would you guys be happy with a point, though? Would you be happy with a point?
Players. I mean, based on the first half performance, yes. Going into the game, no. So, I think like Dav's just said, it is Cardiff are the better team, or that they are putting themselves out as being the better team in this match so far. And we're definitely capable of better. So at half time, no. I think Cardiff deserve to be ahead, but a point at this stage will be a gift more than what we've earned. But we've come out in the second half where the lads are coming on the pitch. We'll see how they perform.
I think we've made Cardiff look better than what they are, to be honest with
you. There's a possibility of that as well. What were you coming to this room to do that for, Lola? That's funny. Yeah. So, Mike said maybe the sub off the referee and the linesman as well.
Agreed. I generally don't know how that was given as a penalty.
Well, Watford 0, Coventry 1. They've just scored.
Watford 0, Coventry 1. Oh, okay. Is that game already underway then?
50 minutes on the clock.
Sunderland's just kicked off in the second half. There we go. We've got the footage, we've got the audio, and here we are. Boom. We're underway. Second half. The sub. I don't think there's been subs. It doesn't look like.
Spade. What you got? Oh dear. Spade. What? You done? What? I see. What? Can see it.
But I won't, because it'd be a cliche, wouldn't it? So I'll restrain myself, darling. Here's Bart on the left-hand side. He's fouled by Mark Harris. It's a free kick to Sunderland, deep in their own half, wide on the left-hand side.
You take him off?
And
better.
It's going to be taken by Danny Bart. Up over the halfway line. Sims trying to get his head on it, flicking it on. Picked up by Clark here, weaving away back to the halfway line, and then plays it back into the middle to Bailey Wright, who drives this out wide. Roberts, one little touch through, trying to get O'Nien through on that right-hand side. He's forced wide by Rawls, still trying to get going down that right side and putting it back for Roberts, but O'Dowda intercepts it, and it's cleared up towards Mark Harris, who trips over it, and it's come back to Danny Bart. Bart now in the centre circle for Sunderland, short to Barr back to, well, a bit short, and Bart luckily got on the end of it. He caught Harris, who's down. Play goes on, Sirkin on the left-hand side here, out to Clark, but it's intercepted by Romeo, back then to Wintle, and then to Nkuku, into the centre circle, O'Dowda. He's got Ojo to his left, O'Dowda still going, out to Ojo, left side of the Sunderland penalty area, trying to dribble in here, and he gets the ball straight into Patterson, who grabbed it and had to keep it, hold of it firmly, because Harris was there waiting for any spillage. Here's Barr. He's trying to get up to halfway on the right, runs into a blue shirt. It's won back by Cardiff. Ojo back to Kipre, and then forwards again down this left-hand side to O'Dowda. O'Dowda, he checks for a moment. He's got Ojo inside. He's got Rawls behind him, Harris behind him. He's got Ojo, but he's lost it, and it's out to Roberts. Roberts now trying to come past Nkuku. Shows too much of it to Kipre, to Nkuku on the left. Through here to an offside O'Dowda, and a free kick to Sunderland in the middle of their half, taken by Bailey Wright. Middlesbrough 1, Bristol City 1. Here's Barr on halfway into the Cardiff half. He's trying to play it across to Clark, intercepted by Romeo, won back momentarily by Sirkin, but Cardiff have got it back again. Philogene back here to Romeo. He's cutting through the middle.
Midfield again.
He's going to try and get it through to Harris, who scores.
I'm not surprised.
Smashed in by Mark Harris. The ball played through by Romeo, and Cardiff take the lead 3 minutes into the second half.
I'm not surprised. The amount of times we've talked about running from midfield, running from midfield, running from midfield. It's too open. We're no better from the first half, Nick. Too many players from Cardiff picking the ball up from deep in the middle of the park, running at our back four.
Mark Harris, third goal of the season. He couldn't miss that, could he? Couldn't miss.
But it was a shot. He's fallen in, Mark Harris, and finished it off. Yeah. But he had so much space to get his shot away under no pressure at all.
Yeah.
He's got to do something about it, because if he don't, I'm telling you now, we'll be two down.
Yes, Right, it's a bad start to the second half.
I thought he would have changed it at half time.
He's got decisions to make now. Tony Mowbray waiting for the restart here. Sunderland 0, Cardiff City 1. Ahmad gets us underway again. Ball up to Sims, flicks down, but it's going to come back for Romeo here, who will take a throw. He went on that run. It's Gateshead 1, Stevenage 2. Gateshead pulling a goal back in this second half. Here Sunderland have to pull a goal back themselves in the second half. 1-0 now.
The runner's gone again.
Looking to get the ball away down the left here for Nkuku.
Look,
wide, he's got Ojo inside, blocked by Roberts momentarily, slips it through to O'Dowda, trying to pull it back. He didn't pull it back for Mark Harris, he's pulled it back to the back of the area, and Sunderland able to get it away, but they're living dangerously again. Clark on the left hand side now for Sunderland, trying to work it back to Danny Bart. Bart, edge of the area, back to Bailey Wright, and Mark Harris goes to close him down. Played out wide then to O'Nien, and it's with Barr at the edge of his own area. They just don't know where to go, Sunderland here. Dan Neil, and out wide to Sirkin, who'd slide in for this one for Ahmad, and Clark on the left wing just down from Tony Mowbray. Back to Ahmad on the left-hand side, down towards the corner, trying to cut back in here now, Ahmad, but he's run into two defenders, and Cardiff with Romeo now get the ball away, trying to hold off Ahmad. Turns it into Philogene, inside to Romeo. Romeo trying to cut through the middle again here, laying it off behind him for Rawls, and then to Philogene again. And Philogene just coming up to the halfway line, the loanee from Aston Villa, out to Ojo on this right-hand side. Neil's trying to get round him and gets the ball off him. Ojo goes down, he's frustrated, but it's played inside to Barr. Barr now to O'Nien, back to Bailey Wright. Bailey Wright back to Bart, and out to O'Nien again on the right-hand side.
You do want midfield players to get forward, but you've got to make sure your timing's right. You know, Barr just wants to get forward and leaves us open in the heart of the midfield.
Well, Sims trying to get forwards here.
Given?
What's the referee given here? The ball. It's a free kick. Is it a handball?
Yeah.
Free kick to Sunderland just outside the penalty area on the right-hand side. Watford 0, Coventry 1. 1-0 to Cardiff City here at the Stadium of Light. So a set piece. Can Sunderland score from a set piece now? First time this season directly. It's struggling to believe that they can. Roberts will certainly be over the ball. I assume Clark as well, but
cheers, tell you, mate.
They're debating at the moment on the far side, and 10 yards outside the corner of the penalty area on the right, this free kick, and this could be a left footer or right footer at the moment from Clark or Roberts. And it's going to be Roberts who drives this in. It's headed clear by O'Dowda for a throw on the right hand side, and it's taken quickly. Flag up, foul on Roberts. Free kick to Sunderland now. There's a bit of afters here. A couple of Cardiff players weigh in.
Evans is coming on, Pritchard's coming on.
And then, the switch is going to be made.
Yeah.
At least two.
You know, and it's a strange one, isn't it? Because, you know, you usually would make that change when you know, all of a sudden Evans is going, he's got to go on and hopefully steady that middle of the park. Give us some shape in there.
Well, Pritchard will be happy for once because he's not been taken off.
Hey, there's time yet, Nick. Don't worry about that.
Free kick from wide on the right, on the touchline. Did the referee book anybody then? I'm not sure. He had a word with Philogene. So this is 8 yards from the corner on the right, virtually on the touchline. Sirkin's the one-man back, just in front of the centre circle. Whipped in low, off Bailey Wright, but it's cleared by Cardiff. He was on the edge of the 6-yard box. A chase back for Ahmad, who plays it back to Patterson out in midfield. And Pritchard and Evans now about to come on as the ball bounces back for Kipre, out to Romeo on this right-hand side, and it's come off him for a throw to Sunderland. The change, will it be made now? The throw's been taken though and wasted. Blackpool 0, Luton 1. And the ball high up into the Sunderland half and headed back by Bart to Patterson, who bowls it out quickly down this left-hand side to Sirkin. Sirkin inside to Ahmad. Ahmad flicks it back to Dan Neil. Neil back to Bailey Wright. Bailey Wright out to O'Nien wide. Down the line to Roberts. Roberts now flicks it on to Barr. Back to Roberts, trying to find a little flick from Sims for Ahmad, but it's cleared by Romeo. Back up into the Sunderland half. We played 10 minutes of the second half. Cardiff lead 1-0. Here's Barr on halfway. He checks into the centre circle to Dan Neil. Neil drives us out to Clark on the left wing. A good pass, but miscontrolled by Clark. A throw, and here's the change. Barr is going to be replaced by Evans. And Pritchard, who will he come on for? He comes on for Neil. So the switch made, Barr and Neil off, Evans and Pritchard on.
You know, he makes the 4 changes before the start of the game. If they come off, fantastic. When they don't come off, then the question will be, why? Why did he make them changes? Even though you didn't play, he thinks that we didn't play well on Wednesday. Okay, we got a result. You know, all of a sudden you put loads of pressure on the likes of Dan Neil, you put loads of pressure on Barr to come in. Pritchard gets his goal, he finds himself on the bench. Why?
Max Waters and Romain Sawyers are going to come on for Cardiff. Philogene's coming off. And Sawyers, the St Kitts and Nevis international, is his replacement. And Harris is coming off.
The goal scorer.
Yeah, to be replaced by Waters, who's a forward. So both teams make 2 changes. Waters just getting some instructions. Mark Harris, who's scored, is coming off. And we will resume with a throw to Cardiff on their right. And this is Romeo looking for Waters, headed away though by Bart, onto the head of Sawyers, Romain Sawyers, the former
Walsall, wasn't he?
He was at Walsall, he was at West Bromwich Albion, Brentford.
Highly thought of.
Yeah. Ball swung over by Evans immediately on the ball. Straight out to O'Nien on the far side. O'Nien breaking down the right wing in the Cardiff half to Roberts. Roberts goes around and Cuckoo. Back to O'Nien, who's upended. No foul. And the ball passed out here to Sawyers. Lost though by Cardiff. Pritchard gets it through to the edge of the area to Ahmad. Was he tripped? Free kick. Now, is it too close to goal for a Pritchard? But it's a free kick on the edge of the penalty area
straight away you're seeing
the impact that they've made.
You're seeing what Evans brings to the team. He comes in, he's got vision, he goes in, he plays the ball out straight away.
It's now Gateshead 2, Stevenage 2 in the FA Cup first round.
Come on, Pritchard.
He's placing the ball. He's on the shoulder of Ahmad, I think, at the minute. Bart comes over for a word. I mean, Bart's obviously not going to take the free kick. He saunters back into the penalty area, Danny Bart.
We've got the 2 goal scorers from midweek on the ball. I think Ahmad will fancy this one. Left foot.
Well, there's a conversation ensuing between the pair of them. Ahmad stepping away to the right. Pritchard step back now. Who?
Work the keeper.
Will try and work the keeper. This free kick then, it's 19 yards out on the right hand side. The referee says pause a moment. He's seen something in the box. Having a word with Ellis Sims. He's had that word and he jogs back out to the back of the D, the referee. And the free kick then for Sunderland. Pritchard or Ahmad? It's going to be Pritchard. Drives it in to the side netting. 0-1 still to Cardiff City. Didn't really even work the keeper.
No.
So, goal kick to Cardiff. We've got half an hour left. Plus added time. Ball placed by Ryan Alsop.
So straight away you look at Evans organising in there.
It's headed on by O'Dowda. Comes back though, it's won back by Sunderland. Pritchard trying to drive it in from the right wing, but it's come back to Alsop. Sims goes to close him down. Alsop clears. Running onto this is Romeo. He's just let it slip away from him, and Sirkin challenges for it and knocks it out. Just grabs his shin, gets back up on his feet. Sirkin. It's a throw to Cardiff City on the right here, who are in no hurry. Tony Mowbray grabs the ball, throws it up to Romeo to take the throw on halfway on the right hand side. Cardiff leading through that Mark Harris goal in the 48th minute.
Well done. Again, Evans closing him down.
And it's a throw to Sunderland. Sirkin gets it taken quickly, back to Bart. Bart across to Bailey Wright, just outside his penalty area. Waters goes to close him down. Over to O'Nien, closed down by O'Dowda, down the line to Roberts. Inside to Pritchard, who's trying to sweep it up to Sims. Kipre gets it away, straight to Pritchard on the right. Gets it down and away from O'Dowda, but Cardiff win it back. In goes Roberts to win it again. And back to Bailey Wright and back to Patterson. Patterson on the penalty spot, passing it out now to Evans. Closed down by Sawyers, but he gets it over to O'Nien. O'Nien back to Bailey Wright, and Bailey Wright up towards Sims. Up goes Kipre, gets ahead to it, but Pritchard is in his path, and it's played straight here to Sirkin and out to the left-hand wing to Ahmad. Ahmad's got Clark in the middle, plays it into Sirkin, but Romeo gets in front of him on the edge of the penalty area and plays it out for a throw to Sunderland. Quickly thrown down the line by Evans for Sirkin to take the throw, ushered back to the correct position by the referee. Looks misty out there now in the floodlights. Bart into the middle now to Bailey Wright, out wide to O'Nien. Roberts ahead of him on the touchline. Here is Roberts. O'Nien's continued forwards. Roberts into the middle to Evans, through to Pritchard, and then Pritchard turning and just slipping it through straight to Sawyers, but Pritchard trying to win it back, and Cuckoo trying to get it to O'Dowda, who takes it out. It's a throw to Sunderland on the far side. It's much better now from Sunderland in this second half. Back to Bart. Across to Bailey Wright. Back to Danny Bart. Bart out wide to Sirkin. On the halfway line, Ahmad. Back to Sirkin, who's played it back past Waters to Bailey Wright, just behind the centre circle, then to O'Nien to the right-hand side. O'Nien has got Roberts wide. Roberts now
Hello,
being closed down by O'Dowda, slips inside of him. He's got to go past Sawyers, finds Evans and gets the ball back. Through to Sims, back to Roberts, trying to get through into the penalty area, and G puts it behind for a corner. Stoke 0, Birmingham 2. Short corner, Pritchard whips this in, headed away by Waters, only as far as Evans. He drives it back into the penalty area, headed down to the back of the box to well, eventually to Clark, who's fouled on the left-hand side.
I don't think they were happy with that.
No, the Cardiff analysts weren't very pleased about it. And Cuckoo's being spoken to by the referee down below here and shown a yellow card. And Kunku booked them in the
Bennett's going to come on.
65th minute. Bennett about to come on down below us.
Do you think he'll come on for
Ahmad?
No.
No.
Sims.
I think so. Sims.
I think so.
Simple. So now I wonder what Tony Mowbray is telling Bennett that he won't understand. A free kick first from the left here. Pritchard and Ahmad, but Pritchard will take this, curls this into the penalty area.
It's got to be better than that.
Yeah, it is easily cleared.
Patterson make sure.
In midfield, drives this back upfield. Headed away by Romeo. Headed back again by Bart. Sims gets his head to it with Ng behind him. Was it Ng? It was actually Rawls, I think. Or Wintle. Out here, and the substitution then will be made. And it looks like Ahmad.
He's going to go and play up front.
Some instruction
I think they'll take Ellis Sims on.
Tony Mowbray. It's Roberts.
Roberts. Oh, okay.
So Roberts off in the 67th minute. Throw for Cardiff in front of Tony Mowbray. Romeo will take this. Cardiff City leading 1-0. We're live on BBC Radio Newcastle tomorrow afternoon. Full commentary from 2 of Newcastle against Southampton at St Mary's. The ball back to Patterson to hook over the head of Waters. Hooked away by Nkunku, only as far as Bennett. And Ahmad, on the right-hand side, through to Pritchard, and then back into the penalty area. Nkunku will get this clear. Bennett is playing over on the left here. Here is Ahmad again, wide on the right to O'Nien, looking for Pritchard, cut out by Nkunku, who plays it down the line. Back up into the Sunderland half to Patterson, taps it to Bart. Forwards out wide to Bennett on the left-hand side in front of Tony Mowbray. Cutting inside now, Bennett to Pritchard. It will roll across to O'Nien on halfway. And down the line to Ahmad. Wide on the right here. Got to come in past Nkunku. Does so. Now with his left. Curls it round the left post for a goal kick.
Unlucky.
Brave attempt.
But again, Nick, you look at the substitutions we've made, and you just straight away, Evans has made a difference, with the shape of the team.
Frustration at Cardiff as the goalkeeper plonks the ball down to take the goal kick. The players heading over towards far side, the east side. Cardiff defending the north stand. The kick from Allsop, all in green, up through the middle this time, and it's headed on by O'Dowda, but runs through to Patterson. It's now Gateshead 2, Stevenage 3. Get their noses in front again, having been 2-0 up, pegged back to 2-2. Stevenage now lead 3-2, plenty of time left. Here it's Sirkin on the left, plays it back to Danny Bart, and back to Patterson. Patterson taps it out now to Bailey Wright, out through the middle and out wide to Ahmad.
Tell you what,
Forwards
Tony
to
Mowbray, this is
O'Nien.
shit so far, like.
And O'Nien now drives us across field, looking for Sirkin, finding touch. So a throw to Cardiff City, who lead 1-0 on the right-hand side. Marlon Romeo will take the throw. It's Queen's Park Rangers 0, West Bromwich Albion 1. Ball knocked out by Sirkin for another Cardiff throw. Romeo inside to Wintle, back to Romeo, back into Wintle, and Ryan Wintle looking, well, O'Dowda went down on the shoulder of Bailey Wright, picks himself up now, but the ball is back with Patterson. Patterson kicks to halfway, looking for Bennett, but Romeo heads it straight at Pritchard. He's closed down by Sawyers, gets it inside though to Evans, back to Bart, and across now looking for Ahmad. It'll be cut out by Nkunku, plays it forward straight to O'Nien, then to Evans, through the centre circle on the left hand side. It's Sirkin now. Sirkin has Bennett out on the left hand wing here, trying to get in to the penalty area on the left, onto his left foot, and he curls well across down to Ahmad on the far side. Ahmad trying to come in past Nkunku, but it comes out to O'Dowda here, and he will play it out. Running onto it is Evans, and then finds eventually Pritchard. Pritchard chipping it into the penalty area. Romeo heads it out to the left hand side here. A slip by Ojo, trying to win it is Bennett, and the ball breaks for Bennett into the penalty area behind Sims, and out to Sawyers, and Sawyers will bring this out for Cardiff on the right, plays it back to Romeo, out to Ojo. Ojo's under pressure from Bennett, but gets it back inside to Unji, and Unji back to the goalkeeper, who kicks it clear, not fully clear. Ahmad trying to get it back in, Kipre heads it out, rolls, tries to clear it, but one back by O'Nien. He played it off him, it's taken a deflection to cross, Sims header over the bar, 6 yards out, just over. And Cardiff are going to make another change. Curtis Nelson will come on. Stoke 1, Birmingham 2.
Tell you what, I just got one of them games I think where we can play for a week and we'll not score.
Curtis Nelson, a centre back. It's going to come on for Ojo.
Sunderland, didn't it? They lifted up with a win on Wednesday.
19 minutes, 20 minutes left.
I think we've got. Yeah, we're in the 73rd minute now.
Elliot Embleton's coming on.
Embleton's coming on indeed. And that will be it for Sunderland. And it's
NG.
Was it NG who came off? No, Ojo, wasn't it, who came off for Nelson? But they're also bringing on. Hang on, what's happening here? Gavin White? No, who's... Sims has been replaced by Embleton.
Sims has been fucking not the thing.
Now Rinham Otter is on as well, but I didn't see who he replaced.
I'm excited from coming back, he's done fuck all.
So they made 2 changes then. Ndji's still on the pitch. So what have they done here? Rinamoto's gone into midfield. Sawyers is in there as well. Wintle and Rawls are still on the pitch.
Oh no!
And now it's fallen at the edge of the area. Poor shot from the corner of the box. It's eventually gone out for a throw to Sunderland on this left-hand side. It's played across the penalty area by Bart, way out on the right-hand side to O'Nien, and then back into Danny Bart here. Forwards down the left-hand side to Sirkin. Back to Bart. Pritchard. And Pritchard plays it to Evans on the halfway line, out wide here. And ball played off Romeo by Sirkin. Throw drops to Evans, back to Bart. It's Philogene, I think, has gone off. And out on the far side, the ball swept in by O'Nien, headed away from the edge of the area by Marlon Romeo. And now Wintle Rawls puts the ball out for a throw on the far side. Now, Philogene went off earlier, didn't he? So I'm trying to think.
O'Dowd's off, isn't he?
Is it O'Dowd who went off? I think you're right. It's O'Dowd, isn't it, on that left-hand side, who's gone off. As Bennett, trying to get forwards, comes back to Pritchard. Now with Embleton, out to Sirkin, back to Pritchard. 1-0 Cardiff lead, out to Embleton on the left-hand side, down the line again to Sirkin, crosses.
He's got to score, he's got to score.
Clark trying to get his head on it, couldn't put any direction on it, and Cardiff get it away. Out it comes to Pritchard, back into the centre circle to Evans. Evans looking for Ahmad, and Nkunku goes to close him down. He clips Ahmad, but he gets away with it, through into the penalty area now.
Oh,
and
no strength,
eventually it's run behind from Embleton for a goal kick. 1-0 still to Cardiff. 15 minutes or so left. Live on BBC Radio Newcastle. Ryan Allsop urging all his players upfield. Sunderland will get another chance, without doubt, in this last 15 minutes. As the kick from Allsop hangs in the air for a moment, looking for Waters, headed down by Bailey Wright. Then Pritchard gets on the end of it, headed forwards again by Nkunku, and now it'll be picked up by Bart at the back and out to Sirkin and forward to Bennett, and one back though by Romeo, and then off Bennett's foot for a throw to Cardiff, halfway inside the Sunderland half. In the 77th minute, Romeo with the throw. Cardiff, who've led since the 48th minute. Here's Sawyers back to Romeo. Cut out though the pass by Evans. And then it's put out for a throw to Cardiff. Romeo again, handed the ball by his coach, Mark Hudson. Drops to Wintle, back to Romeo. Down the line is cut out by Sirkin. Up to Kipre, who heads it back into the Sunderland half. Won by Pritchard. O'Nien battling with Sawyers. Back it goes to Bailey Wright. Bailey Wright back to Patterson, passing it out to Bart. Bart out wide, then to Sirkin, down the line to Bennett, and it's blocked by Romeo. Comes back to Sirkin. Sirkin into the middle to Bailey Wright, and O'Nien's wide. Ahmad's calling for it, but I don't know what that was. Was he trying a shot? Straight through to Allsop, and Allsop happy just to waste a few seconds in front of Jack Clark. Picks the ball up, and Jack Clark has to jog back up into the middle, the centre circle. Allsop just throws the ball down, and Jack Clark turns it away and goes back, but it's kicked by Allsop wide to the left, and out it goes. It's a throw to Sunderland. Time running out, 10, 12 minutes plus whatever time added on. Stevenage now down to 10 men at Gateshead, but they lead 3-2. Here's Bart out to Sirkin on the left here, in front of Mark Hudson. Tries to slip it inside to Evans. He did well, Evans under pressure from Sawyers to get the ball back to Bart. Now into Bailey Wright. Bailey Wright to Pritchard on the right-hand side here. Down the line is O'Nien, and Pritchard picks out O'Nien. Back to Bailey Wright. Bailey Wright looks up, plays it short to O'Nien on that right-hand side. Down the right again here, Embleton back to Bailey Wright. Bailey Wright on halfway into Pritchard in the centre circle. He's swung it out to the left wing. chested down by Sirkin. He looks up, in comes his cross, headed out by Ng to Rinham-Hotter, and then back on this right-hand side from Waters to Romeo, and headed away by Barr. Forwards, Romeo. Bennett gives chase. Ng clears. It's a throw on the left for Sunderland. Sirkin gets the ball into the final 10 minutes through Embleton to Bennett, back to Embleton, tackled, breaks into the centre for Rawls. He's found Sawyers on his right-hand side in front of Tony Mowbray, looks for Waters in the middle, his touch lets him down. O'Nien will get this away on the right to Ahmad. Ahmad back inside to Evans. Cross to Pritchard, little flick forwards to Sirkin, back to Pritchard. Pritchard back in to Evans. Evans at the back of the centre circle, through to Embleton. Embleton to O'Nien on the right. Ahmad ahead of him. Ahmad on the touchline, taking on Nkunku. He's got the overlap from O'Nien. O'Nien's cross. It's a bit too deep, but it's gone out for a corner. It came off the foot of the defender as O'Nien tried to hook it back in. Down goes Embleton to take the corner. Sunderland's fifth. From the right-hand side, the north end. Here's the corner then swung in, and it's headed away comfortably by Cardiff, only as far as Bennett on the left wing. Bennett now trying to come in past Rawls, who sticks a foot at it. There's another corner to Sunderland. The attendance today, 37,015. Corner then from Pritchard on the left-hand side for Sunderland. In it goes towards the back of the 6-yard box. It's headed clear. It will come back into the centre circle, where it's played by Sirkin out to Bennett on the left wing. Bennett now trying to work it back into the centre circle. Evans out to the right-hand side. Embleton to Ahmad. Ahmad on the right of the penalty area to O'Nien. Kipre heads the cross out to Rinham-Hotter, but it's come back into Embleton. He lays it off to O'Nien, a foot in from Sawyers. It's in the air, comes out, and Rinham-Hotter managed to head it back here to Evans, and back again on halfway to Danny Barr. To Pritchard, just in front of him. Pritchard now in front of the centre circle, just plays it left to Sirkin, out to Bennett on the left wing, closed down by Romeo, plays it inside to Pritchard, back again to Danny Bart, and then across to Bailey Wright, forwards to O'Nien, wide to Ahmad, just in the Cardiff half, through to Embleton, out wide again to O'Nien, back inside to Embleton, through to the edge of the area, tap through now into the penalty area. Ahmad goes down as he tried to make the shot.
Good tackle.
Was a good tackle. Ahmad's still down. Cardiff on the counter-attack. Waters straight at Patterson. Ahmad's still down. The ball's being played out here to Pritchard.
He's not going to give a penalty.
He's not going to get the penalty. He's still lying down. Pritchard's still got the ball in play with Bennett.
Go on,
Bennett again on the left-hand side. And Bennett now to Sirkin. Ahmad's still down. Sirkin into the penalty area. Leaves it now for Embleton. His shot straight at the goalkeeper. Ahmad on his knees, crouched in the Cardiff penalty area, and the referee is jogging back to see what the issue is. Pete Brand's sprinting on now, and Ahmad will get some treatment. 1-0 to Cardiff. We've got 7 minutes left. It's not been a great performance from Sunderland today.
It's been a poor performance, Nick, and you know, everyone's going to be scratching their head and say, why make them many changes? That is the question.
Can't?
Yeah, you might make one,
I can't leave the house
maybe
now.
2, but 4.
Can it?
Okay, you can understand
We'll get some young get back.
Ellis Sims coming back in for Diaku. Yeah, we can say that. Okay, Jack Clark. But the midfield, that was a surprise to me.
Yeah.
Trying to see who's in.
It disrupted things, didn't it? It certainly wasn't.
He's got no shape.
First half.
No rhythm.
Ahmad's across
no
on the far side.
There.
Ryan Alsop is limp back on and is trying to run that off on the far side. Jack Clark's gone down to close Ryan Alsop down with his clearance. All the players over the far side. Alsop kicks, it's high in the air and will drop onto the head of Evans, or Bart, gets it out to Ahmad. One back though by Rawls and Kunku.
Come on, Cardiff. Well, yeah, you so far you're on top.
Sunderland penalty area. Patterson clears.
It is absolutely shit.
Played by Bailey Wright to Bart now on this left-hand side.
That's what Evans gives you.
Yeah.
He's always available.
Here's Evans to O'Nien. O'Nien through to Embleton. Embleton out to O'Nien again. O'Nien looking for the run of Clark down the right-hand side. He's going to get onto this on the right. He has to cross first time off the back of the head of Curtis Nelson. Comes up into the centre circle where it's steered back by Bailey Wright to Bart, who's looking for Ahmad. Out on the right, a slip by
Couldn't
O'Nien.
break down a paper tissue
to
a minute,
Embleton.
Joshua lad.
And Embleton now, with Ahmad down the right, he's gone to the left and he's going to try and find Ahmad now on the right side of the penalty area. Slips it inside to O'Nien, back to Ahmad, and a flick by Pritchard is blocked, and Nkunku gets it out to Sawyers, inside to Rawls, back out to Sawyers, who runs in to Evans, who thinks he was fouled. Gets nothing from the referee. Going to be a throw to
What a fucking flat
Cardiff.
shit performance this is, like.
What a frustrating game this has been. Into the final 5 minutes.
Frustrating game to the point where, Nick, you look at this game and it's a game which I think Sunderland should or could have won.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
That's the most frustrating thing about it.
Here's Sawyers out to the wing. It's played down the touchline, but it rolls out from Watters. It's going to be a throw to Sunderland, quickly taken. O'Nien nods it back down to Evans, into the middle to Pritchard. Pritchard now up to the centre circle, turns it back to Danny Bart. Bart back to Patterson. Patterson out to the right hand side here, Bailey Wright, and he will play it into the middle to Danny Bart. Bart at the back of the centre circle, driving this up round down the left wing, looking for Sirkin, who heads it into the middle. Wintle nods it down to Ng. He clears to throw to Sunderland on the left-hand side, halfway inside the Cardiff half. Sirkin takes it quickly down to Evans. Evans into the middle to Bailey Wright in the centre circle.
Typical Sunderland. You get what? 37, nearly 38,000 in. And you put in a performance like this today.
Here's Evans on the left to Pritchard. Pritchard trying to shake off Rinomhota. He's played it inside to Embleton, who's looked to pick out O'Nien at the edge of the area, but it's cleared by Nkunku up to the halfway line. Watters, he gives the ball away to Ahmad. Ahmad now to O'Nien. And O'Nien turns out to the right wing. He's got Ahmad there with him. Ahmad looked like he was tripped. He was. It's a free kick to Sunderland, wide on the right hand side. Just a couple of minutes of the game left. Wide, O'Nien cleared the cross by Nelson into midfield. Battling for it there was Bailey Wright. It's going to come right back though for a throw on the left here in front of the Cardiff technical area. Evans has come back to take the throw back to Patterson. Patterson back out to Evans, across in the middle, Bailey Wright. Bailey Wright calling for it is Ahmad on the right wing. Bailey Wright's in the centre circle, squares it here to Corey Evans, and Evans to Pritchard in the centre circle.
Shout about all second half.
And he's going to play this out to Ahmad on the right. And Nkunku goes to close him down. Ahmad crosses, Kipre
have some more
heads
challenges
it out.
in the box.
Pritchard looking for it, but it bounces over him. He runs back for it and wins the header. Back to Bailey Wright in the centre circle. Now to Pritchard again. He lifts one up into the penalty area, looking for Bennett, but it's Unji who heads it away, only as far as Clark. It's one back by Cardiff, and Wintle clears up onto the head of Bailey Wright in the centre circle. Nodded down to Evans, out to Bennett. Bennett trying to cut into the middle, away from Rinomhota. Finds
wide
Pritchard, looking for Ahmad's run down the Ahmad's offside.
Gotta go wide.
Free kick, left side of the penalty area for Cardiff. 30 seconds of the 90 minutes remain.
This is just fucking shit. This, like,
How
this
much
is diabolical.
is Andy Davis going to add on? Cardiff City leading 1-0. And Swansea 2, Wigan 2. Swansea who were 2-0 down to Wigan at home. Ryan Allsop taking his time and taking the free kick. 10 seconds of the 90 minutes left.
Disgraceful is not the word. I don't know what the fucking
the
hell
players again over to that far side.
Allsop,
the keeper, with the free kick. We're going to have 4 minutes
to shout about at all this second
of
half.
added time. We're into those 4 minutes now. And Rawls for Cardiff. Down the line, Sawyers to give chase. Across goes Bailey Wright. Sawyers pushes him over. It's a free kick to Sunderland. On the touchline on the far side. Patterson throws the ball down.
Fucking terrible.
Plays this out now on the left to Evans. Evans on to halfway, looks up. He's got Bennett to his left. Evans just holds, turns round, plays it off to Pritchard. Pritchard in the centre circle, driving this wide right again, looking for Ahmad. It's headed away by Nkuku to Sawyers. Back behind him to Rawls, back to Sawyers in the centre circle, who's pulled down in the middle. And there'll be a free kick to Cardiff City. Who was it who pulled him down? I think it might have been Sirkin, but it's a free kick.
Stadium's nearly
just behind it was Sirkin. Free kick which Allsop will take. It's finished 3-2 to Stevenage at Gateshead.
Fucking just ran into each other and created
from
problems
Gateshead,
now.
but all in vain in the end.
Gary Bennett's going to go
So the league sides, Forest Green and Stevenage, both
Bennett
went through this afternoon. Here is Embleton. He's under pressure, he's lost the ball. Rinomhota has found Sawyers at the edge of the area. Sawyers turns, plays it back behind him to Nkunku, back to Sawyers, back to Nkunku, and down the left-hand side he's got support as well, but slipped it in to Sawyers on the goal line, pulls it back here for Rawls, takes a deflection, a shot, and it's a corner to Cardiff.
Going to make another sub.
Who are going to bring on Gavin White, the Northern Ireland international.
Today. And click the thumbs up and who's subscribed as well. So it's been a bit of a shit show.
Coming off.
A bit of a shit show. I'm underestimating. It's typical Sunderland, isn't it?
I think they're substituting the substitute.
John again. Yeah. Cheers, mate.
Waters, who was a substitute, is coming off.
Has been.
And White is going on.
Well, why not? Why not Cardiff? They'll take this corner. I'm sure they should as well.
So Waters strolls round the back of the goal. Gavin White is on. We've played nearly 3 minutes of the 4 being added on, and it's a corner on the left. That's 3 minutes played, a minute left. We'll take another half, 30 seconds, I guess, for the substitution. The ball with Rawls. He's trying to find Sawyers, and now Nkunku. It's won back by Pritchard, and it's rolled out behind for a goal kick. So Sunderland, Patterson, last chance saloon really now for Sunderland, who trail 1-0. The ball kicked up into the
saloon. I'm going to fucking saloon to walk into.
Last chance saloon for me as well. Kipre heads it away, comes back to Patterson. Patterson swings it up through again, looking for the head of Danny Barr. It comes down on the left-hand wing here for Clark. Clark has got to come in round Romeo. He's got Bennett in support. Clark gets a little nudge in the back, but he's still going. Clark flicks it through into the penalty area. Sirkin stumbles. It takes a ricochet.
Nobody
headed
there.
Away by Nelson. Bennett's pulled down, is he? There's a call for a penalty. Romeo seemed to pull him down. The referee's unmoved, and it comes back up to Bailey Wright, and the referee. Well, he's blowing for full time, but there's a bit of a scrap broken out outside the Cardiff penalty area.
Yeah.
It's all a bit unseemly now. The game appears to be over. There's a huddle of players outside the Cardiff penalty area, and the referee blowing his whistle time and again, and it's still not been resolved, this issue at the edge of the penalty area. The referee is going to, what's he going to do? He's going to haul someone out, isn't he, here?
Yeah.
The referee, a yellow card for Kipre.
Kipre, that's who he's gone for.
Is the player booked?
And Elliot Embleton.
And a yellow card for Embleton.
That's it, it's all over.
And there goes the full-time whistle.
That's just shit.
All in all, a very unsatisfactory afternoon for Sunderland. Apart from the penalty saved by...
Well, that was just fucking awful.
Oh, mate, you're playing Birmingham 8 o'clock on Friday.
Good girl. Back in a second, lads.
Yeah.
You finished, my sweetheart?
EJ's live.
You want to go out of the app? Who loses to this man?
Was that nice? You want to go lie down in your bed? Yeah. Come on then.
Wanted them to win, you could. Cheats.
Come on then, sugar dumpling. Come on, pet. Come on, my darling. Do you want to have a poo?
No. Bed. Bed. Bed.
In Cardiff we live. Jesus Christ. We beat Huddersfield, and yet we can't beat these twats. Not good enough. Oh, I just feel like ranting for God knows how long.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Can you hear us all right?
Give me a sec.
Guys, still on? Hello, hello, hello.
Hello?
Can you hear us all right?
Hello.
Hello, hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Hello, hello. 1, 2, 3.
Can you hear us?
Oh, yes. Hang on, I'm just going to type in chat. Yes, we hear you. I don't know.
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me, yeah?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you,
Say
yeah.
Ooga booga.
I can hear you. Can you hear me or not?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Well, that was a shit. That was a shit show and a half, was it not?
Oh, that's done.
That was just fucking awful. That was.
No, he wasn't. Bless him.
It was on the cards.
I can hear Anthony.
The fact that we had 2 penalty shouts and neither were given, and they had one and missed it, was a clear indication that these refs are dog shit.
That was a shit show. That one. That was just fucking awful. Wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was horrible. We're fighting against 2 teams. We're fighting against the referees, and we're fighting against.
I mean, just from the off, we were just disjointed. It was just Tony Morby needs to fucking sort that out, because that's not good enough. That was.
I'm gonna go sort dinner, so I will leave you two to enjoy.
Yeah. Thank you. Enjoy evening, mate.
See you later, man.
I will try. Bye.
So, what do you think the problem is there, then, man? What do you think it is? It's.
I don't know. Just we can't beat Park the Bus, so we need to take the lead early. As soon as they scored, we had 80% of the possession of the ball after that point. So it's breaking teams down defensively. I think we're running in or trying the same things. With the amount of chances we had from set pieces, and the ball just ends up nowhere, is stupid. And we've got a short team, so we need to work out players off the ball that isn't just fucking whipping it up into the air, into the box, where defenders can quite easily out-strength and out-jump most of our attackers. So, yeah, some work on set pieces where we're able to
as you
get
say,
through
this
that.
new target men. No, I mean, it was so predictable. You could see what was going to happen every time we went forward. Every time there was a free kick, a corner. It was just. I mean, did you get excited in the second half? No, I didn't get excited in the second half. This is what the club needs to address, though, with Sunderland. It's like there's been at least 4 or 5 games at the Stadium of Light where we can't, as you said before, unbrake a parked bus. You know, we could play until the Christmas trees get put up. We're never going to score on a month of Sundays. And that needs addressing why we can't. Sims was just non-existent today, I thought. I mean, the whole lot were, really. It was just horrible to watch. I just feel sorry for the fans that turned out. What was the attendance?
Yeah, 37,015.
Fucking hell. They don't deserve that, you know, do they?
No. Yeah, time waste. Time wasting.
Is it beginning to now level out that we'll just look like a proper below mid-table team in this championship, the way things are starting to peg out?
I think the World Cup break is going to be a nice little interlude that we can reset. We can get our players back fit. Some of our players, Bailey Wright, Bennett going out to the World Cup will develop themselves a little bit and come back either on fire or exhausted. But I think we need it. We as a club need it. We reset. We're still in the top half. We're above Cardiff still. We're above Wigan. We're above Rotherham. Yeah, it is what it is.
Is it concerning at all how bad that performance was?
Yeah, it was, mate. I don't know. It's one of those things where we've just got to put up with it now. We can't change anything about what's happened. We've just got to work out how to beat the next team in front of us. Birmingham today having a weird result is probably a good sign. I know they did end up beating Stoke, didn't they? But
Jurgen Cardiff
yeah.
City says Sunderland unlucky not to get a point in the end against us. I mean, want my honest opinion? I think I think Cardiff deserved it. They were comfortable. They defended well. We weren't a threat. We just weren't going to score. It was just obvious we weren't going to score, and I think Cardiff deserved the win. At the end of the day, they did what we couldn't do. So congratulations to Cardiff. Really, they've came here and they've won, and we couldn't. Did I get the West Brom score right?
I don't know. Let me just check. So what was the score?
West Brom won 1-0.
Where's West Brom away from home? You said a 1-1 draw.
And I put Wigan for a win, didn't I?
You put Wigan for a 2-1 win. Yes.
Ooh, 1 goal out. There's been some
you
strange...
backed Preston, Burnley. If anybody back in Burnley was interesting.
There's been some strange results. I mean, Coventry's going great guns at the minute. They beat Watford at Watford.
Yep.
Stoke, I'm surprised how much they're struggling, mind. But yet again, Alex Neil took over Stoke when there was no transfer window. We couldn't sign any players.
But he had decent players there. Apparently, he thought their players were better than ours. So, yeah, it is what it is. Right, mate. I'm going to bounce. It's been a pleasure. Always nice chatting with you on the live streams.
Yeah,
Don't forget if you're still watching on DJ's channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like, and you'll be notified for when the next video goes live. I'll catch you in the midweek, and we'll set up what we're doing for the Friday night football, also the watch along for Friday night, and we'll see what happens during that one.
Catch you there.
Catch you in a bit, mate.
Right,
Have a good one. Enjoy your pig trotters.
I will too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well. That was the shit show of us. Just fucking awful, that, like. Absolutely awful. Hey, looking bubble. Well, I tell you what, that was a shit show and a half today, mind.
Well, they've been poor for the last of how many games, mate. I mean, we won 2-0, but we gave the ball away a lot during the week. So.
Well, we start the first 20 minutes for Sunderland. It was like, as you just said there, like the amount of passes we were giving away. I mean, we were clear through in the first half, and Sims, like he just couldn't pass. He just couldn't pass at all. He never mind bus passes. He couldn't even pass the ball. It was just so fucking frustrating. Nothing was connecting. It's like they were out heavily on the fucking cocaine last night, like.
I don't know, mate. It's a good job we've only got the one game left before the break, I think.
Hey, fucking hell. But Ellis Sims, like, I mean, he did absolutely fuck all game. Like, I mean, there's a Cardiff City fan saying we're unlucky not to get a point. I don't think we deserved the point, to be honest with you. Sunderland are too big to be in the Championship, huge fan base. It's like, yeah, it's how many times do we hear that? But at the end of the day, it's the team.
It's what's on the field that counts at the end of the day, mate. And at the end of the day, like I've said before, it's a very young squad. We've got to remember that.
Sunderland cannot break teams down that park in the bus or protecting their lead or their draw. It's been about 5 games at the stadium, like, where we just cannot break teams down. We could have played until Jeffrey Dahmer's pork chopper defrosted. We would not.
The problem is, mate, you've got to remember as well that extra centre forward was the difference for us the first half of this season. he was on fire, and the pair of them just gelled straight away. And I think that's when he's been missing, this is now we're starting to get found out a bit, aren't we?
The World Cup break can't come quick enough. I mean, we've got Birmingham on Friday and stuff. Aye, but it is what it is. It was just fucking. I'm just glad I didn't spend whatever it was to get a ticket to count the game. This was fucking 37,000 there, you know.
Oh, well, it would be because it's the last home game before the World Cup, so it was going to be a full house. It was sort of Poppy Day as well that there's been some sort of celebration of. So, you're always going to be a big crowd for that, especially at the Stadium of Light. It's the way it is, but no, like you say, mate, one more game to go, and thank God for that.
One more game to go. One more game to go. Stoke City got beat again.
Different who?
Stoke City got beat at home again off Birmingham. Who we play on Friday?
Well, like you say, mate, let's see what comes of it. I won't be surprised if I won the telly on Friday, I would.
We saved the penalty as well, you know.
And I did, aye. So that was in the first few minutes, wasn't it?
Aye.
Few minutes or so.
The warning signs were there how Sunderland were going to perform today with the first 10 minutes. It was like we were running around with lead shackles around our legs. It was like we looked heavy. It just honestly they just looked knackered. They had no energy at all, mentally or physically. I don't know whether that pitch or on Wednesday's winds took it out of them. I don't know, but they were fucked. They looked absolutely knackered.
I've been pissing down all afternoon, like, so they've always been getting cramped in the weather as well, which makes it a bit more heavier going. But like I say, Stu, it's one more game on Friday and then nice break, which is what they need. You know, at the end of the day, we could have done one of the 3 points today to give us a bit of breathing room, but that's just the way it goes, isn't it?
It's just the Sunderland way, though, isn't it? Really.
Oh, way aye. I mean, like you say, mate, another 3 points. If on Friday it looks different again, doesn't it?
Well, he's got the owners of the club. They need to know what needs addressing for the team. You know, it's clearly evidence now that where our weaknesses are in the squad. I mean, don't forget we've got a January transfer window coming up as well.
Oh, no, we'll have to spend that thing. Right, it wasn't obvious before, but it's very obvious now that they need a striker for back up. And a good one at that, and probably a playmaker in midfield as well. That'll Pritchard out a bit.
We've got too many inexperienced players for the Championship. We're doing really well to be where we are. Dan Neil's been the major fuck ups at the back at the minute, or in the midfield. The amount of times he's losing the ball and stuff.
He's poor, mate. There was loads of rumours Premiership clubs going to be in from etc. And he's just seems to be gone backwards since then.
The fucking Women's Super League wouldn't have him at that, the way it's going on. We'll see. Like you say, mate, one more game and the World Cup kicks off. So I think we're just going to get over these next game. That's it. Did you like me posting with Jeffrey Dahmer myself?
It's funny, mate. Whatever.
Anyway, the match of the day to watch on the Premier League, I think, was Leeds United coming back to win 4-3. I think they were losing 3-1.
They were, aye. They were. There you go. Just going to show you. Right, we've managed to get away. 3-piece order cancelled today as well.
Oh, very good.
So we've ordered another one which is coming on Thursday, which isn't bad going.
With a bit of luck, it'll be tied on top of the car that you're waiting for and all.
Oh, that's just ridiculous, isn't it? That.
Apparently, it's just left Lapland about an hour ago.
Baghdad, I think, has got that, mate.
Listen, have a good Saturday, mate, and bit of a shit show, but it wouldn't be a Sunderland if it wasn't for Sunderland, was it? That's what we do.
No, exactly, mate. Enjoy, boy.
Bye-bye. Yeah, Jaden, cheers for popping in the chat anyway, mate, but yeah, well done. Enjoy your win. Go back home and drink it in. That was a really, really, solid performance from you lot. Can't argue with you on that one. But, yeah, it's... my review of the game, it's just what in the fucking hell's been going on today. It's just like, God's sake. I'm gonna go do some of the player ratings and stuff at the moment. Got Anthony Patterson, who's got 7 out of 10. Really made a good save from the penalty. and other than a bit harsh rush of blood in the second half, dealt well with everything that came his way. 7 out of 10. Need me gigs on actually to see this. Luke 9 struggled with runners getting around him in the first half. Was better in the second, but the winner came from another runner getting beyond him. Created a half chance with a cross for Sims and linked up well with a mad down the right once Robert was off. Danny Bath sold short by right for the penalty and left with no chance, but was solid otherwise despite the lack of protection in front of him. Had an absolute shocker with his pass that led to the penalty after that, and defended well. Yeah, that pass was awful. Dennis Cirkin got a 6 out of 10. A good effort at left back without standing out. Dan Neil, 3 out of 10 was shocking. Started really poor with another turn into trouble when he was the last man. Luckily, the team got away with that one, but Neil couldn't get hold of the game, and although he did steal the ball a few times, it was a game for him to forget. Abdullah Bar showed a couple of flashes of his obvious talent, but struggled throughout his time on the pitch. Had one burst forward, but chose to shoot rather than playing Roberts. And then really poor pass in the lead up to the Cardiff opener. Patrick Roberts got a 5 out of 10. Played in a mad for a shot that was blocked and put himself in a good position, only for Bar to decide to take the shot on, but a quiet game, eh?
Is that vampire?
I can't, son, I haven't got anything. Get me crisps. Did you get me crisps?
No, Daddy, yeah. We have paper.
Over there. Jack Clark got 5 out of 10. Only able to show glimpses of his form in the first half as he was starved of the ball. Had once a shot deflected wide and a good run led to a mad chance. Had more central role in the second half, but no real chance to make an impact. Diallo, 6 out of 10. Had a shot block that would have gone in. Thanks very much, son. The boys have just delivered me some lovely crisps from the shop. Yeah, Diallo had a shot block that would have gone in after being played in by Roberts and whiffed a shot just wide in the second half. Looked more dangerous in the second half when Pritchard came on. And Ellis Sims, 5 out of 10, isolated for much of his time on the pitch, got a bit of support before he went off, and Clark getting alongside him and flicked a header onto the roof of the net, but handled well. Pritchard, 6 out of 10, Corey Evans, 6 out of 10, Bennett, 6 out of 10, Embleton, 6 out of 10. Man of the match, Patterson, for saving the penalty. But other than that, it was a shit show. But thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll catch you for some... Keep an eye on my channel for some more videos. I'll be posting some funny ones, some daft ones. You need to keep smiling because we'll go again on Friday.